All right, we're back. We're just gonna roll with this. It's how we do it, man. We just kind of get going to start it off. We got Thug Nasty here today. Bryce Mitchell, excited to have you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for having me, man. The honor is mine.
No, man, we're glad to have you here. We actually brewed this just for you. This is mud water, man.
Hey, I love some of that stuff water,
dude.
some of that mud water.
Today, I didn't get a shot of us pouring it in, but this is some very.
What can I say? I'm about halfway done with my cup now. Now we gotta give them a context. It's probably a little bit past midnight, and we're getting jacked up on some coffee, and I don't give a damn.
It's 12:23. We're freaking drinking this black coffee,
and I don't give a damn. It's one of them days, man. It's been a long day.
Like, what were you doing before this?
Okay, so I had my plan to get a couple things done, and one of them things was harvest garlic, dig it up, get it hung up, because I hang it up in little clusters so it can dry out real good.
At your house, right?
Yes, and I was planning to do that and then do a couple other things. Well, I woke up and the neighbor's bull had broke through the fence. And we have 4 mama cows that are, 2 of them could be bred because they just had their baby about a month ago, so they went back in heat. Well, that's what he was over there for. When those mama cows who had their baby about a month ago went back in heat, boy, he broke that fence. He got over.
He's trying to get some action.
He's ready to go.
And so
How do you stop that though?
Well, I used a bucket of corn and I tricked him, and I took because I have a catch pen on my side that is about 3 acres. I built that just separate, so if I need to separate a couple cows at a time for a month or two,
you can separate them.
I was weaning some calves, and so that's why I was doing that. And so I got mine over on that. Well, I got all of them over. So there's 10 cows. One of them's Big Bull, big Bull, and he's way bigger than the rest. So I got all 10 of them over to that catch pen. It was about 3 acres with the bucket of corn, and then I laid the corn out on the ground, and then while all the other 9 cows, which was mine, my neighbor's bull was the one I needed out of there. So they were all eating on the corn, and then I ran at the bull. I charged him.
You charged him?
Yeah, and then he perked up, and he immediately ran because he had all the room to retreat. So I got him out of that catch pen. Now, once I got him out of that catch pen, I still have a bigger area that's for more cows or whatever. And I had to get him out of that. And so that was a whole nother, because then he started holding his ground.
He felt more comfortable.
So, he felt more comfortable because he kind of knew where he was at, and so I got him out of that catch pen. But then the other area, just the regular area, the grazing area, where they usually graze, took me 4 tries, and Peppy helped, my dog, my little German Shepherd.
Shepherd, huh?
Yes, and I'd opened the gate between me and the neighbor, but he couldn't see it. So he didn't know that the gate was open, and he was freaking out when I was, because you just got to walk at him like with authority. And then I eventually got him to, instead of going in the gate that I opened, he didn't know it was open. He couldn't figure it out. He's too scared to go that way. Yeah. He went through the old spot that he broke and jumped back over it, and then I patched it.
No way.
Yeah, and then
how big is this bull?
I reckon 1,000 pounds. But I don't.
They're big.
Yeah,
Did you get nervous out there, man?
Well, they can't move left or right very well, and so he didn't charge me. We only got close about one time, and then I got down in a stance like this, really hunched down, almost like I was crawling at him. It scared the shit out of him. And but you could tell it got like real tense. And
he knew what was up.
Yeah, I kind of crawled at him almost, and just to scare him, just to change my posture a little bit. Look like I was stalking him, because if you look like you're hunting him, then he'll be like, okay, I think I'm the prey, and he just runs off. But
you gotta fool their mind.
He could mess me up bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, the one time I learned my lesson was at a buddy's. Their parents were building a house, and they had some cows, and they had a bull out there. I didn't know what the bull was gonna do. You don't go near them things, and if you take off running, they keep chasing you.
Oh yeah.
And so I took off running, and they said you're supposed to spat them, like hit them with something, get them away from you. This thing kept on chasing us. Yeah. You don't run from them. You gotta do what you did. Show them who's boss.
That's right. and you can always bail out. Oh, yeah. You can jump left or jump right, and that's
crazy. Because they can run, dude.
Oh, yeah, they're fast. And I had to actually run them down. It took me about 4 loops. The good thing is I was walking a smaller path than he was, so he got more tired than me. But, let him run, and then you kind of walk around this way, and then he'll run back that way. But he's just burning up his energy. And every time he does it, he wants to run less and less. So it took me 4 tries. And on the 4th loop, he finally said, okay, he said, my legs are tired, and I'm getting out of here.
And he was just on the prowl, man.
He was on the prowl, and as soon as I patched up that spot in the fence, he was down trying to make him another spot.
You cock blocked him.
I did. I sure did. I sure did. And I wouldn't be one bit surprised if tomorrow morning I go out there and he's out there on the other side. But I patched up that old spot very well. He'll go find a new spot, or he'll go make a new one. He'll make a new spot.
Is this like barbed wire fence or what?
It's barbed wire, and it's between me and Jimmy's yard, and it's pretty rusted up in some spots. A lot of overgrowth and brush and stuff, which the thorns actually help. But I have to clear a lot of that if I want to put up. Like if the thorns are in the way, I got to clear the thorns before I put new barbed wire. So it's real slow work. But I got about 50 foot or 100 foot done today. But it was a pretty long stretch.
You put in some real work.
Yeah, I just reinforced what was there, and
that's some hard stuff. I've experienced it one time at a family's home. I helped them do a fence, and that stuff was if you don't do that stuff right, you can hurt yourself. Yeah, I got stuck in the leg by one of them barbed wire things.
That'll catch you.
Yeah,
I was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, you thick leather gloves. You want to have thick leather gloves, and I guess when you're cranking it, putting that tension on it, it could snap. That's a very, if you're hitting it with the hammer, it could snap. But if it's, in theory, that barbed wire could snap and go back in your eye.
Oh, God.
Because there's all that tension on it. You're sitting there cranking it with the winch. If you crank it too much,
it could snap back.
That's right.
That's crazy.
So I'm always watching for that.
I bet it's harder at nighttime to deal with that stuff too.
Oh, I'm just done with it. Yeah. I just said, you know what? I'll wait till the morning, and I'm taking like chicken wire or woven wire and putting it over, because that barbed wire that's existing, it's kind of rusted, probably a little bit weak. And instead of doing all new strands, I'm just putting that woven wire over that old rusted wire, and I think
I hope it'll be stronger for sure.
It'll help it for sure. And then over the top of it, where that woven wire ends, I run me another strand.
Okay.
And so it'll be that woven wire, another strand, and
good.
Then he'll be forced to go in underneath, and most of them spots he can't get underneath.
Dude, Zach knows about the farm life a little bit.
Oh yeah, most people don't know that.
Yeah, it's a fun fact here.
We've got in Batesville, we've got a couple thousand acres.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
It's our family farm. My dad, grandpa, and my great uncle run it pretty much. Just 3 of them, that. So
I bet y'all cut your own hay and all.
Oh yeah, we do.
That's amazing. See, I just got into that this year, and so I know very
pretty
little.
Fascinating.
It really is, and I'm really liking this cutting hay.
It's hot out there too.
Brother, it's out there, man, and that's one of my tractors got AC, but the other one don't. And I'm telling you what, it gets hot.
Yeah. I bet.
AC.
I always call and check on Dad whenever it's real hot, because I know he's the workhorse. So yeah, we've got couple hundred head of cattle.
Man, that's badass.
Do wheat, corn, hay. I don't know, pretty much everything. So I grew up around that, and then they were like, you can go get a job or you can come do the farm. And I was like, well, let's see what else is going on for we pick 110 days or 110 degree days, so.
Yeah. Brother, that's pretty awesome.
I worked last month, though.
Yeah,
I went and work cows.
I called Zach one day, and he wasn't answering. I said, where's this man at? And the next thing you know, he called me back. He's like, I'm out here sweating it out. It's hot out here, man.
Man, it's therapeutic. You got
change of scenery, man. In the stores or doing paperwork all the time. You go out and work cows, you appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, how many cows you got now?
So we've got 20 head right now. 10 of them are parked at another chick's place who's helping us out. And what she does is she AIs them.
What does that mean?
Artificial inseminates them. And we pay her about $700 total for that. But those babies, but the semen and the egg that she's pulling from that male, she sent me a picture of it. I mean, she's pulling semen from this male he's a stud, brother. He's worth $440,000. That's what he sold for it at auction.
They pull the semen from him?
Yeah, she puts.
How do they pull the semen?
I think she puts his thing in a machine. Like they get it started, and then she puts it on a thing.
No, it's true. That's how they do
They
it.
do
That's how they
that.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning
And
something.
so she gets that thing in a little machine that he humps, and she holds it there while he humps it.
Oh my!
And she'll take that sack at the end of now.
You bag it up.
She does
You
this for
bag it up.
$700.
Now, well, each one of those loads, depending on, I mean, it's going to be just like us. It's going to vary, And on a good day, I mean, she might
Nutrients,
get
water.
Yes, and
Yeah.
what they call it is a straw, because
Wow.
they'll put that semen in a straw, and in that straw. Now it gets real fancy with what Tessa does, because not everybody does it how Tessa does it, but Tessa. Her process gets very complex. She's working with high-end bulls. I mean, we're talking $440,000 bull. I mean, this dude is jacked, man. And so she takes his semen, and she could probably get, let's say, 10 straws for every load, but it's probably
It's like an
more.
elite breed.
Yeah, it's probably even more. And so, I mean, but let's say she gets 10 straws for every load, and then she goes and mixes it with this female who's just badass and won all these derbies and stuff, or not derbies, but rodeos or whatever. And so these are like champion bulls and
They
stuff.
don't play around with this stuff. This stuff is serious.
No, she's done made millions off of this.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah, she's a very well off farmer. Yeah.
Wow.
She.
That's impressive.
You got to find your niche.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get in. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
well, what she did is she works with PBR. She's the breeder for PBR, does a rodeo,
Gotcha.
and they buy bulls from her and her company. She co-owns the company, but she breeds like badass bucking bulls, like kick your ass, fucking buck you off type of bucking bulls, and so she breeds them. But she offered to, she had some room at her place for 10 more cows.
Wow.
And so me and JoJo bought 10 cows, paid her $700 a pop, and I think every straw she gets, she sends it to Venezuela. And then they send it back. They put it in a centrifuge.
Wow.
And so you take that egg and you take that semen and you put it in a spinning machine, and it spins it up and it mixes it better. And that's why you don't have sex on that ride at the fair, the spinning one. You're guaranteed a baby. But that
Gets you every time.
Gets you every time.
But
my! She puts it in that centrifuge, and it's a very much higher degree of pregnancy.
Yeah.
Of embryo. I'm sorry, because that's an embryo. Then they'll take that embryo it need to host. That's where our mama cows come in. In a place, and so we bought 10 mama cows, put them over there. The 4 at my place. See, the problem with the bull coming over to my place is we were wanting. There's 4 mama cows pregnant at my place.
Got it.
Already, 2 of them had a baby, went back in the heat. That bull smelled them going back in the heat. He wants them. Problem is, we want to AI him. We want that baby to be worth $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
But this is just a random bull?
It's my neighbor's random bull.
So it's not the elite.
It's not elite.
Right.
But he's a badass bull. Most people look at it as a favor, but most people don't know Tessa. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Most people don't have Tessa in their phone to text and say, "Hey, I'll give you $700 if you can breed it," and she takes time out of her day to come and breed it.
You're not trying to waste a whole thing on this bull.
And it looks like that he probably got to those 2 of mine this morning. Yeah, so we're probably not going to be able to AI those 2. And I asked my neighbor what type of bull he was. Black Angus. One of them's Red Angus, mine. So it'll probably make a Black Angus, is what I hear. And then another one. Her name is no, it wasn't Coco. It was Emma. And I don't know what Emma is. She looks like Black Angus too, but. They'll probably make a Black Angus baby,
that's wild.
Because I think he bred a Red Angus and a Black Angus, but he was over there for probably a couple hours before I got to, and it don't take him that long. But maybe
that's a sight to see.
Yeah, in a couple months we'll know if he did the job
if he did the dirty.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if he ain't, he'll probably be out there in the morning making him a new spot. So it might just.
This guy is not playing around.
No. But if it happens, it's meant to be,
He's swiping right on all these cows out there.
That's right.
It's crazy. Man, but you got, besides cows, don't you have some other thing? You got some chickens? What you
got some chickens, stories. Got about, probably about 16 hens, 17 hens.
I want to get me some at this rate with the egg prices.
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
Is that what you're doing with them? You got eggs coming out of them? Or?
Yeah,
fresh eggs.
Yeah, got 4 dozen in the freezer or in the fridge right now.
Wow.
But you know, I'm giving my mom about a dozen or 2 tomorrow, or next time I go over there, it might be Friday or something. And then that garlic, I pulled up and give her some of that garlic too. But the eggs is going pretty good. Productivity slowed a little bit because my buddy gave me some rabbits and I just didn't have nowhere to put them. So I put rabbits in one of the chicken pens and those chickens stopped laying a lot of eggs. But
Really?
it's okay. I'm going to figure it out.
What's up with that? Why do they stop?
Stressed.
The rabbits stress them out?
Yeah.
Are they in a cage or are they just kind of jumping around?
And they're in a coop and it has a raised coop. So it's like a ground level and then an up top level.
Like a chicken coop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, they're stressed. They're not, but I'm trying to rig the rabbits up something, but also there's a million things I'm doing all the time. So right now it's just like I'm taking the egg loss, but everything's happy. It's just, it's not like they're fighting or nothing, but it just stresses them out.
Stresses them out, man.
Stresses them out.
Uncomfortable environment.
Yeah.
I get the same way.
Absolutely. Hey, introduce some homeless people up in here. You know, put about 6 homeless people up in here.
Yeah.
That's what those rabbits are like to those chickens. It'd be like people you don't know. What the hell y'all doing? You know, and then it's just like your productivity will go down.
Yeah. I had a guy sitting outside my house today. It scared the crap out of me. I walk outside and it's just sitting out there. I was like, oh, hey, man, how's it going?
Yep.
I mean, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, and they're thinking the same thing. That's basically what's going on in the chicken mind.
Yeah.
They don't know who this rabbit is, what's going on.
It's nice to see you there. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I mean, but I got 4 dozen eggs. I mean, it's not too bad. Does the heat play into the production?
Actually, in the summer, they're supposed to do a little bit better. In the spring and the summer, supposed to do better. Which my numbers stay about the same because of the rabbit thing.
Yeah, the rabbit stuff.
Oh.
But you know, it'll be okay. I still got plenty, but you know, if I had like one of these days, I want to have over 100 chickens, and then it would, you know, if I lost half my productivity with 100 chickens, it'd be a big deal.
That'd be a big difference.
Big loss.
Big loss, you know. But for right now, I'm just kind of keeping the rabbits happy. But and then when it's hot, you gotta make sure that you go out there and pick those eggs a little bit sooner. If it's cold, you can leave eggs out there for weeks. I mean, nothing's gonna happen to them unless it freezes them, and then they'll crack.
Different issue there.
Yeah,
You got a lot of snakes out there?
yeah. I seen a snake skin right by the chicken.
They
pen
try to
just
go after
other
the
day.
chickens, don't they?
Well, I
I've
think
heard
they
that.
go after the eggs.
The eggs, really?
They go
Yeah.
after the eggs.
And then I think eventually they could go for the chickens. I mean, if they got huge, but these ones will probably just be going for eggs.
Gotcha.
Because there's little cracks to get into the pen.
Wow. I'm sure you got something ready for them snakes, though.
Brother, I'm going to tear into them. I was mowing a little bit. I mowed a good, you know, that was natural defense is just mow,
Just mow it.
mow, and that
high grass down.
Yeah, cut the high grass down, and so I'm finishing some of that up tomorrow because I got to where I really need to bush hog. That boy wasn't enough.
I hate. I've had to go walk through a big old field before, and I was just jumping, trying. You know, I didn't want to step on a snake, dude. That's one of my biggest fears. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't like snakes.
Yeah.
Nope. There's nothing good. What's good about them? I don't.
Well, the good thing is they eat a lot of rats.
Yeah, they get the mice.
Can't.
That's the one
As
good
long as
thing.
they don't. As long as they ain't biting me, I'm fine. You know. But it's when they get pissed if you step on them. You know. Which I mean, I can understand.
Absolutely.
But like, you know, walking through those fields, you can't see sometimes, so you got to cut it down.
Nope. The rat snakes ain't so bad, but if they're close to that chicken pen, I'll shoot them.
You ever been bit by a snake?
Nope.
No.
Not
Wow.
yet.
Not
No.
He's gonna go home and like find one.
Yeah, because every time that happens to me all the time, I'll say, no, it ain't. And then boom, the next day will be the day.
Yeah.
Without fail.
Yep.
You still been doing a lot of fishing, or?
Not enough.
Yeah.
I caught one catfish the other day. That's all right. I went out and caught just a little bit of bullhead. There's a lot of work for one fish.
Yeah.
But, man, it was like 3 a.m. I was just like, they just started biting, and I was just like, no, man, I'm getting out of here.
You go out at your place?
No, they don't. There's not enough in that pond. I do have a little drinking pond for those cows, but it's just not deep enough. It's wide enough, but I need to really dig it deeper.
Okay.
You know, to hold some fish.
Yeah.
Which I will one day, but it's just so low on the list. You know, it's like it's nonstop projects.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. I mean, and you just now got your. I see a lot of updates on the new facility you even got at your house now to train and
absolutely.
Work out. I mean, that looks pretty awesome. I mean, tell us more about that because that looks pretty sick. I mean, you're saving gas now, not having to drive to Little Rock as much. So that's good.
And I really do have the best wall. I'm gonna have to say I've got the best wall that I've seen in Arkansas. I mean, for training,
really.
I mean, it's pretty insane. But I mean, I built it just for hard MMA training.
Yeah.
I mean, it's typically what you're getting in every gym that I've ever known. You're getting a cage, which is when you're training for cage fighting. A lot of people. The gyms to advertise to the cage fighting market, they'll put an actual cage up in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that cage is going to rub your back raw. It's going to rub the back of your hands raw. It's going to rub your arms raw. It's not conducive to training repetitively. It breaks you down. People's ears getting ripped off in the cage.
Really?
Your fingers get broken.
Training?
In the cage.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you get tackled in that cage and you're going at an angle, your ear get ripped off. You know?
I mean, do people do it just to get that cage like feel? Or?
So you can press up against somebody, but the thing is that you really need a padded wall, you know, because it's just you're gonna get less injuries. Your ears ain't gonna get caught in it, ripped off. Your fingers ain't gonna get broke in it.
Oh yeah, your fingers get caught in that thing.
Oh, in a cage,
that would be bad.
In the cage. Now, see, at my place, it's a padded wall.
Okay,
it's a 20 by 15.
Okay,
and I put a 90 degree in it, so it makes an L, you know, 90 degree L. And now in the octagon, you're not getting that 90 degrees, so that's a big difference. But what I found is that it actually helps you tremendously if you back yourself up in that corner and make yourself work out because the angles are sharper. And so it's like you actually have more room. In the octagon.
I mean that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So you're actually, if you can get out of that corner, you get out of any MMA board because it opens up further. You can go left and right. So you know it's real conducive to MMA training. And of course, I built a block wall behind it, filled the blocks with concrete and rebar. You know, it's in the concrete, like it's sturdy, and so
that's no joke, dude. I mean, that's impressive because a lot of people that are like in the UFC, they are not doing their own like place. They're not building their own places and customizing it for their own needs. They're just going to these big places. And
a lot of these gyms, they will have nice big padded walls, but around here, there's a lot of cages. Like I said, like I've just explained, the cages. There's also the main problem with cages is that every single cage is held up by a metal beam. You know, and those metal beams are gonna have padding about this big, this thick on it.
If your head gets hit,
I've never thought about somebody putting a cage in their training facility though. And then that rubbing you raw and stuff. I don't know why. I just never thought about that.
It tears skin off your back multiple times.
Yeah.
It'll get it forces you actually with the cage. You cannot train without gloves because say if I'm trying to hold you against the cage and I'm trying to lock my hands behind you, that cage rubs on the back of my hand so bad. So now you have to actually train in gloves, which isn't a problem for MMA fighters, but it's like.
It's just a little different.
It's just a little different. It's still gonna get your arm, but you know that cage, all of them got metal poles that they're in an octagon. So there's about 8 of them usually, and so every cage has 8 spots where if you hit your head, you're fucked. And
that would be bad.
Back in Little Rock, man, I've got banged up in my head so bad, and I vowed to never train in a cage. The day I hit my head on it, I hit my back on it one time. I thought I broke my back.
Oh god!
Just called it a day. But I mean, because I was scared to move at first. It hurt so bad, my back got wrapped around one of those.
Oh man!
Because the cage, it springs a little bit, and so my buddy double legged me, put me up on that cage, and I kind of tripped, and when I hit, my back wrapped around it, and I just said, stop.
Yeah.
And then he's like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know. I'm scared to move, man. I was like, I don't know if I can. I'm just going to sit here for a minute. So I sat there for a minute, everything, I started moving. I'm okay. Then next time I hit my head on it.
Oh, that'd be done after that.
It was a very light trip, but still, it doesn't matter. It's metal, and so it just ding, you know. And then I said, you know what? I'm done training in this cage. Built my own facility.
He said, I'm building
Like,
a wall.
Built my own facility, and I'm telling you, there's at the new West Side MMA. There's very nice walls. Here's the thing, though. The real stretch of walls that's like 30 by 20 something, real big room, sheetrock behind them. I'll bust through that motherfucker on day one, you know. So, coach, the first week I was in the gym, coach was like, the walls are tearing down, and I was like, man, I didn't know we couldn't go on these. And so, but coach was pissed. He said, yeah, it's actually torn the whole wall down. I think you're going to tear the structure down. He's like, very
put the drywall in it.
Yeah.
They should know who they were messing with.
Yeah. And so there's one brick wall area, but it's a straightaway. There's no corners. There's no sides. So it's like you can train in that straightaway, but when the person circles left, circles right, it's like, okay.
You're just out of it.
You're out.
I feel like the corner is giving you more of an advantage training-wise.
Damn right. And so that's why I say I've got the best wall that I know of in Arkansas now.
Dude,
I'm sure in some gym that there's a bigger, better wall, but
yeah,
I haven't seen one.
You've been training a lot too. I mean, even before this, you were training tonight some. I mean,
Training
people don't
up.
see the hours you're putting in on this. I feel like, and
Yep.
we like to talk about a lot of that
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
because I mean, you're a young guy still. You're grinding your tail off right
Yep.
now. I mean,
Absolutely.
and I kind of like the way you've been doing it though. You've been doing a lot of. I feel like your training and your like physical, workouts and stuff are a lot different than most people are doing. You're doing that more of that farm, logs. And
I carry corn every day.
Every day.
Splitting
Chasing
firewood.
bulls,
Yeah, I got some cardio today. I really did get that cardio
That's
today. I tell you what.
Well, that's kind of what the premise of this podcast started of, is like there's a lot of young people out here grinding that people aren't seeing some of this stuff, and they're looking at these people going, how are they
get
at
there,
this point, or how are they here? How's Bryce, top ranked fighter, and you're putting in these hours and doing this different stuff. And last fight was, I think, a testament to that.
Well, thank
congratulations,
you for watching, brother.
man.
Thank you very much.
My mom watched our first UFC fight, and she wanted me to give a shout out. So,
Dude, that's awesome, man.
She's a Bryce Mitchell fan. So,
Wow. And never watched UFC.
she had never watched it. We bought it, sat at the house.
That's incredible,
She was
man.
jumping
My
up and
mom
down
to
and
this
yelling.
day has never watched one. My mom just
Your
can't
mom
stand
got-
it.
yeah.
She's like, that stuff's the devil. She can't stand. But dude, that's pretty badass.
You put on for the state, man. So
Well, thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, that was awesome. You had a pretty good opponent. Or was pretty good. So
No, he's up there with the most dangerous, and
oh yeah, those leg kicks, man.
those leg kicks are very fast. And what makes a kicker? You know why most people don't kick as hard as they can? The real reason.
Why is that?
You break your own foot.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you hit the wrong spot, foot's broke.
You have to hit it a certain way.
You have to hit a certain way. You have to hit a certain time. You have to aim for a certain spot. And he knows how to do all of that. And he is supremely confident. Good luck finding you a partner that kicks
like
that
him.
fast. It's incredible that he can actually not. He has no consideration for the health of his
breaking
foot.
that foot.
He
He
don't
doesn't
give a
care,
shit.
I guess.
Actually, I've heard that every fight he walks out of, he limps. Even though he lands a kick, it still hurts his leg. Which I seen him after my fight limping.
Yeah.
No, I was too. That's the problem.
Well,
Yeah.
I think impressive that when you get over 11 minutes of ground control, I mean, you went to work on that, so it was just impressive.
What's that feel like though?
it
Like
was-
in the calf though? Like if you get, I feel like getting kicked in the calf hurts.
So he got me high thigh more
High
than
thigh?
anything,
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, low thigh, like right above the knee more than anything. The adrenaline blocked it out. But after the fight, it was hurting.
Yeah. What do you do after the fight to heal after that? So-
After that fight, I stayed walking. I took a couple weed edibles, and dude, I just kept moving. And actually, I guess I got my second win after those edibles kicked in. And I was like, my buddies, because we went back to their hotel, and we were really just hanging out. Nothing crazy. We just hung out, caught up. But I remember going back up to their hotel. down the hallway, one of them said, "What happened if some shit went down right now?" And I was like, "I can still whoop motherfuckers ass." And they were like, "What?" And I started running down the hallway, and before I was limping, and they called me out. They were like, "Could you think you could still fight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I ain't hurt." And then I started running, and I was like, "See, I could still catch a motherfucker if I had to. I could kick somebody's ass if I had to." I was like, "I'm just fine." But really, those edibles just got me in, and I was like, my buddies, because we went back to their hotel, and we were really just hanging out. Nothing crazy. We just hung out, caught up. But like, I remember going back up to their hotel. Down the hallway, one of them said, "What happened if some shit went down right now?" And I was like, "I can still whoop motherfuckers ass." And they were like, "What?" And I started running down the hallway, and before I was limping, and they called me out. They were like, "Could you think you could still fight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I ain't hurt." And then I started running, and I was like, "See, I could still catch a motherfucker if I had to. I could kick somebody's ass if I had to." I was like, "I'm just fine." But really, those edibles just got me kind of like numb.
Got you going, man.
Got me going again. And the thing is like once it stiffens up, that's, it was actually good that I moved around a little bit.
Get that lactic acid buildup out of there.
Yeah, that helped a lot.
That's wild, man. I can't imagine. I mean, you're doing a lot of big things. We were looking at some of the just like the rankings. I don't know like how much like y'all like dive into that. But it was like, what is it, number 9?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive.
Man, the higher ranked fight, the better. But I have little to no control over that.
Really?
Well, if I turn down, say they offer me number 8 and I don't want it, and I turn it down, the next time they offer me one, it might be number 11.
Yeah.
So it's like just whatever they give me, I have to take. Yeah. And let's just keep fighting my way up.
Just keep talking on Twitter. Get somebody,
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about the Korean zombie.
Gotta get the zombie, man.
Well, he's got one more fight. That would be the fight that I would want because it would put me up the highest in the ranking.
Yeah.
And I think he might take it, but I don't think that he will no more.
Really?
I think that
they have to agree? They have to agree.
Yeah, especially him because it's going to be his last fight, so he's probably going to really bargain it.
He just got worked too.
Yeah, he just got beat up, and he did not look good. And but the thing is,
he's been around for a while.
He's been around for a while.
He'd been off a little bit. I think
it was his worst performance that I've ever seen. But Volkanovski is great.
That guy, I didn't even know about this guy. I must have been. I've just been out of the loop. But this Volkanovski guy's been kind of climbing up the ladder a little bit.
Yeah, he's beat Max Holloway twice now.
In 2019, I saw.
Yes, and the second time I didn't think he really won the fight the second time, but it was a split decision, I think, but close one. But
what do you think? You think Max Holloway's is still as good as he
Well, we're gonna find out on July 2nd.
This weekend.
Yes, that's this weekend. Yeah. That's right. I'm kind of excited about that. I am too. And
because I couldn't tell if Volkanovski looked so good because Zombie was a little slow, but
Zombie was slow.
He looked fast though, man.
Dude, he's a striker. I feel like he can throw some punches. That Volkanovski.
Yeah, he's a striker. He kicks and he can punch going forwards. And
does he have much ground game?
I think he's good on the ground, but he's probably not going to be able to shoot takedowns repetitively. Probably because that's just not how he fights.
Yeah, he seems like he's more on his feet.
But I think he could have a couple good takedowns in him. But I don't see him like spamming takedowns in one after the other after the other. He's more of a stand-up guy that occasionally will get a takedown. He's not afraid to go to the ground. He really just goes to the feet.
Yeah.
But it'd be hard to pick between him and Max. I'll just say Max.
I was about to say, who you got?
I'll pick Max. He's American.
Yeah.
And so I'll go with him. Oh, yeah. He's American. So
wait, what is Volkanovski? Is he like Russian?
Australian?
Australian, that's right. Yeah.
Australian. I heard him talking about it. They said he used to be like 200 and played rugby.
Yeah, even bigger.
Really?
Maybe, was he bigger than that?
Yeah.
He's like 145 now? Is that featherweight?
He used to play rugby, so he was trying to get jacked and get as big as he could.
That's crazy.
Dude, who is Arnold Allen? Why do I not know him?
He's a Brit, and he's good too. He's up there probably top 4
I just
or 5.
don't recognize the name.
He's a striker. Hits hard, hits fast, really throws bombs, really opens up too. Like he opens up a bit more than these other guys.
Did he just win a fight or something? It said he went up.
He beat
up.
Dan Hooker. He knocked him out pretty good.
Almighty.
I was just gonna say, but going back to your fight, like personally, I feel like it was a really good performance, and like watching everybody else's performance. I mean, I think 9 does you an injustice. Personally, it's probably a little bit of bias from being from Arkansas, but
absolutely, I'm biased too. I think the same thing.
At least top 5.
I think that I would beat any of those guys on any given night. I mean, after a training session, just sitting here, I feel like I could beat any of them. But that's
it's not up to you to get these fights. Like, who has to like get the ball rolling on that?
Well, it's all those guys that are up there in that top 5. All of them have been top 5 for probably 5. Let's just say 5 years plus. So it's real hard to get them after sitting top 5 for 5 years. They don't want to lose to a guy who ain't even been top 5.
Yeah,
and so they're looking at me as a degrade in pay with a upgrade of risk.
Yeah,
and so it's just.
Yeah, climb that ladder.
It's a little bit tricky.
It's hard to get them to, but I just know that everything will work out.
Yeah.
I'm just being real patient.
Working on your craft. I mean,
gives me more.
You're just
time
gonna get
work.
better.
I'm just gonna get better.
They're gonna
get older.
It's gonna be worse for them.
They're gonna be older when they run into me.
Oh gosh.
And
you're gonna be able to take them all 5. I mean, it's gonna be crazy.
And I'm entering my prime, and it's just
they ain't ready for it.
If the smart strategy would be to call me out now, try to get me while I'm younger, but I'm going to keep getting older and better and stronger because now I'm actually getting stronger.
Well, the last fight, I know the biggest thing that the people I heard on the commentators were talking about was you coming off of the broken hand, the injury.
Broken hand.
And they felt like that was going to be like they used that against you as like maybe he's going to.
They're trying to use it as a cop out, kind of.
He's coming off a broken hand. We don't know how he's going to do.
I'm a lot better after that broke hand because I always wondered, because I hear it's like a horror story because you hear everybody breaks their hand and you just think, I don't think I'm tough enough to do that. And to do this, I could fight with no hands, with double broke hands. I could improvise, and it hurts like hell, but it's doable. And
it's probably more of a mindset, though, right? Like if you got a tough mindset, mental game, I mean, that's what a lot of.
Do you know if you've broken your hand like mid fight?
Well, since it was my first one, I didn't, but I believe I would know if I'd done it again because
I just broke my hand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was like my finger was jammed is what I kept telling myself at first, but it never happened before. So I was just telling myself, oh, you got a jammed up finger. But then I started noticing something was wrong with it, and I just thought, oh, it's a real. I thought, and then it went from okay, I jammed my finger to okay, I broke my finger, and then it went to like, it hurts when I punch, and I was like, maybe maybe it's broke, but it really was just I wasn't even thinking about it. Really, I was just like, broke finger, okay, grips. Grips a little bit less. It hurts when I punch. And I was like, but now I've adjusted. So if I did break both of them, I would be able to keep fighting, and I would acknowledge it, and I would change the strategy if I broke both of them. But both of them would be a bigger ordeal. With one broke hand, you can still do singles pretty good. You could switch off to a blast double maybe, but some of your takedowns are going to be a little bit harder.
What's a blast double?
Blast double is when you get in and you pretty much blast your opponent with a double and get them going. They call it blast double because it's like a very fast, explosive takedown. It takes a lot of energy. So it's when you get a double refers to getting your hands around both of their legs. That's a double leg. A single leg is when one of their legs is you have it in your arm. So it's on a double, you're grabbing both their legs. On a single, you're grabbing one. So if you're doing a blast double, like a blast double is not a double off the wall. A double off the wall, which is the most consistent takedown in MMA, in my opinion, is a double leg, hands locked under the butt on the wall. That motherfucker should go down. Like that. It really should be every time. And of course, there's human error in that, but just in theory, you lock the hands under the butt on the wall. See, the best defense for a double leg is called a sprawl. A sprawl is like, imagine yourself, you're like, you kind of sprawl out, you're hot, you're trying to air out, sprawl out like that. Kind of like that, but you're facing the ground. You sprawl your legs out, you put your hips into them, and you try to put your weight on top of them and like hide your legs from them. So it's like you kick your legs back. You sprawl out on top of them. They fall underneath you. Now you're sitting on top of them. You can attack headlocks, which from front headlocks, I go behind. I don't much care for chokes from the front. They're too, they expose your legs.
You can get in a tricky situation if you're not careful like that, right?
Yes, that's why I say I like to hide my leg. When I'm in a front headlock on top of somebody, I like to hide my legs and circle behind them. Wow. I'm not worried about the guillotine from the front, like grabbing their head and choking them. I'm worried about getting behind them, establishing hooks.
You got more control that way? Or?
When you get behind them, you certainly do. Yeah. Now you can't punch it. Like if you're up in front of them, when they go to stand up, you can uppercut the shit out of them. I mean, you can. So when you're standing up from a front headlock, there's that punch opportunity. For me, I like the positional. I like to go behind them. I always want to go behind the opponent. From a front headlock, you generally can. The only thing stopping you is arms. So if you can block one of their arms, you can get behind them. Huh. So you got to block now. If you don't block that arm, you're going to circle right into what you call single leg, and they're going to work their way up. But if you block that arm, they can't grab your leg. And so on the wall, when you shoot a double, the reason it's the most effective takedown in MMA is because they cannot sprawl. They cannot do the most effective defense. So you have the most effective takedown with the most effective defense for that takedown effectively gone. They cannot sprawl. Now what they can do is they can sprawl a different way. It's laterally, but instead of kicking their legs this way, they spread their legs, do the splits.
Split sprawl.
Opens them up for a single. So,
wow.
Yeah, they can do a split sprawl.
Get that takedown either way.
Yeah, they do those splits all the way. Okay, well, I'll just pull one of those legs. Because you're doing splits. I'll either pull the back, pull the front.
Feels like your groin would just fall apart, dude.
Yeah, so you just, because your groin would be all compromised. You just fall down for them, So sometimes on a good takedown, it's better just kind of let them have a takedown so you don't get the shit slammed out of you. Because, like, say I got double on the wall. Let's say it's in a concrete.
Yeah.
Let's say it's in a concrete. Okay. I've got some dude pressed up against a school bus, and I'm in on a double leg, and there's concrete underneath us. That, and I walk my hands under his ass. He's better off just sitting on his ass because if he's within the 200-pound range, and I have my hands, even a 200-pounder on the wall, I can pick up a 200-pounder. Yeah. Do it all the time. I can't. It's not as easy.
His back.
Are you talking about your back being on the wall?
No, their back being
pick them up
from underneath the butt.
Gotcha.
Use the leverage on the wall.
Use the leverage of the wall. So I'm not bearing all their weight. So if I can get a 200-pounder on the wall and get my hands locked, he's going for a ride. I don't care if he's got 40 pounds on me. And if it's on concrete,
he's gonna be regretting that decision.
That 200 pounds, he's just gonna land on his neck harder.
Oh, yeah.
You can you can turn them and drop them on their head. So you say you're a 200 pounder and you feel my little ass picking you up. It'd be almost better just sit down in your butt. That or I'm gonna pick you up on my shoulder and try to turn you where you land on your head. And so one of my concepts is, man, if they're deep on a double on the wall, instead of letting them slam you, go to your ass, and now fight.
Live to fight another day.
Yeah, and then you'll fight your way up, but you'll do it with the full breath. You won't get the breath slammed out of you.
Yeah, I mean, that would suck.
Yeah, when you get turned on those slams, I mean, you lose control of that landing. And a lot of times people land and they recover, but, man, you can watch hours of MMA fights where slams on the ribs, and then the fight's done.
It's over.
And so you don't really want to give them that slam opportunity.
Yeah, you don't. I can imagine.
I was going to ask you. I've been kind of interested to ask, and I'm glad you went on to that too, because I've asked kind of Dylan, and then I asked Jesse last time he was on here. What, do you feel like you have to be kind of obsessive to learn about your craft, to know because you obviously really know your stuff. Well,
I think it's important for my health that I'm obsessed with the craft, because every time that you train, you're investing really in your health. That's and the longevity of the career. Like I said, if I can just educate myself on some of these positions, when a guy goes to pick me up, instead of being stubborn and saying, I'm going to keep my whizzer or do this, or here's the worst thing you can do. Say somebody goes pick you up and you just pull guard, you say you pull guard, okay, you can get the shit slammed out of you. You know what I'm saying? So if you can educate yourself on how to keep yourself out of those here's another one, uppercuts, knees. Like I say, if you're going down, if you're ducking, but something coming up that center line, like a knee, to your head.
Dude.
You know, if you can do anything you can to minimize your head going down while knee is going up.
Mm-hmm.
That force would be hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
and so like you know, so it comes down to okay, now you got to stand taller. When you stand taller, you're more susceptible to strikes up top, like, and your body's stretched out too. So now if your hands are high and you're standing high, you know your body's open. But if they're going to the body, you can always try to when they come back, they got to come back up. So when they come back up, you can look counter. But there's a counter for every counter, you know. But you just got to know what's kind of open. Like if I'm circling this way with my hands high, you know, I'm circling into that. Well, if he's got a mean left hook, I'm circling this way into. I gotta watch out for his left hook.
Yeah.
So I might negate that by just circling like this.
Dang.
Or circling with the hand out. But like every time, if I circle right, you better be ready for something coming from that way. If you circle left, you better be ready for something coming that way. Now stuff can also go straight down the middle.
Yeah.
But what's the worst of the worst shots is when you're moving into them. Because it takes all your opponent's power and accuracy and precision, and it combines it with your complete lack of knowledge of going into it, and so you're actually making their strike worse, and it happens to everybody, you know.
Dang.
But you want to minimize those. So if you know if you're going this, like when I was on Barbosa, I knew if I see him spin, my instinct was just get the fuck out of there. Because if he spins, he has the best spin kick in UFC history, and he's got more people with that spin kick than anybody.
So you're retreating from that one.
He actually went to the body. I retreated,
Yeah.
and the good thing is about so my retreat on Edson Barbosa when he spins. Who you think uses more energy? Say that I get out of range perfectly and that kick misses by about 2 inches. Who used more energy? He just spun in a circle. And I just moved out of the way. I just hopped. So he uses more energy.
Right.
You've mastered that though. Like you've mastered pissing your opponents off to where they're using more energy than you are.
So he's his biggest shot, boom, a miss, and he's off balance.
That's impressive.
That's why I was saying it's been impressive, like to see you learn your craft or whatever you're doing. Probably watching just hours of videos and like learning and from your coaches and stuff. Like he only had 28 landed strikes or something. Right, and you had all that control time. Like that's got to be you knowing that kind of stuff better than, like you said, he's gotten people with that spinning kick crazy.
He's gotten people with that spinning kick, and
you know
that's all they were talking about the whole time. Is they're like,
how bad that spinning kick is, and he wanted to jump knee me too. He even threw a jump knee.
Yeah.
And on both of them, I just backed up. And the thing is like, you know. It's just a great strategy. Just back the fuck up, you know. And on somebody like him, like he carries more weight than me, and I can back up more than he can advance with spin kicks and jump knees. He already has an issue with kind of getting fatigued because he's a very explosive fighter. So all his knockouts are very explosive, high energy moves. His best move, in my opinion, is that straight right of his. And again, I took that away with footwork, but the reason he hit me with it is because I stopped moving my feet. There was about 10 seconds left in the round, and I wanted to just be lazy and stop moving my feet, and then it woke my ass up real quick.
You think that's probably like the key for like people landing these big hits, or just people getting like lazy in the last little bit? Or?
Well, it's not usually. In my case, it was lazy because I was sitting there thinking there's 10 seconds left in this round. He ain't hit me yet. And, you know, just kind of, but most people, it's that they get tired, they're not cognitive, or they're going for a strike of their own.
Gotcha.
That's the worst.
I don't know, like, what somebody's mind is like in this situation. Like, if you're, like, trying to prevent getting, you know, knocked out by this kick, but, like, how are you prepping, like, your next move? But in your case, you're like, I'm getting out of it. I'm not gonna get hit by this. So you're trying to get out of it. But like, how do people go about like you just something you like do in training? Like you're just like prepping for the next move.
So on a kick in particular, like we talked about Edson, about how fucking unbelievably hard he kicks. So think about Edson. You put yourself in Edson's shoes. You're kicking at my leg as hard as you can. Okay. Now imagine I moved that leg 2 inches out of the way. You thought you could get it. You thought you was going to fucking whale it. You thought you was going to kick me on my ass.
Yeah.
And right at the last second, I pull that leg out of the way.
Boom.
Okay, you're off balance.
Yep.
Now you're readjusting. And that's the window I got to hit you in the face.
Yep.
Or let's say you're Edson again. You're aiming for me about 5 feet away.
Yeah.
I'm 5 feet away. He can shuffle in, get him down to 3 feet. Now he can reach me with his leg. He swings at me when I'm 3 feet, but I read he wanted a kick. I closed that distance about 1.5 feet. So he thought I was going to go back, and I went forward. Now what? I grab his fucking leg because he's too close. He threw it from lacking. I changed. Yeah. I backed up. He said, I'm going to jump in and kick him. When he jumped in, I moved forward.
Dang.
So
you're freaking smart. This guy's got it going.
Do you think he underestimated the fight?
Oh, for sure. He didn't think.
I said that after the first round. I said I think he underestimated Bryce big time.
Do you think people underestimate you in this?
That's a great advantage you could have. So I hope that they do, but you can't really control that. But if they're smart, they wouldn't. But hopefully they do.
Well, I was surprised that he underestimated you just because he's been fighting for a pretty good while, right?
Yeah. How long he's been fighting for a while.
Hey, man, he's got a great resume.
Yeah.
You know, he's knocked out a bunch of badasses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, all his losses really were at 55, like getting knocked out and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I did better than Khabib did.
Dang.
Not, you know.
Drop the mic on that
Just saying. And here's the difference of what me and Khabib did. Khabib come out, and he beat the ever-living shit out of him in the first round. I mean, dude, he hit him so many he hit him so many times in the first round. Here's the thing, though. Edson don't quit. And now in the second round, Khabib did very good. In the third round, he just won the round. He simply won the round, but it progressively got worse every round.
Yeah.
In favor of Khabib. So, like he started out great, did okay, and then just won the round barely. Not barely, but you know, he didn't do as much damage in the third. For me, actually, every round I was doing more damage and
You could tell that out in his body language. Like Barboza, like each round, you could tell he was like, "Damn, I thought I was gonna get this."
and so that's not to say like, okay, well, I have a better resume than Khabib now. No, that's not what I'm saying. He still has a way better resume than me. But what I'm saying is, if you watch our fights, I do better every round against Barboza, and as Barboza actually was recovering and finding out how to stop damage from Khabib. Now, he still lost every round. But the first round was much worse. And I would personally rather be the fighter to get stronger as the fight goes on. And it's
demoralizing.
It's demoralizing. And so I was very happy with that performance. You know, I'm always wanting to finish. But at the same time, man, Edson was just... he was losing rounds, and so it's easy for me to just sit there and not try too much crazy stuff because he's accepting the loss off of his back. Like, if he would have tried to get up, it would have been worse for him. He probably would have got finished, but instead he just wanted to survive on the ground, which for him it was a smart choice because if he would have exposed his back to me to get up, then it probably would have resulted in a finish. But he played it a little bit safer. And so you got a drug-out fight, but in the end, say if it was a 25-minute fight or just a MMA fight to the death, the result probably would have been the same. It would have been the pressure would have probably got to him. He's also he's a lot older than me. You know, he's been through a lot of wars. I don't think he was expecting me to actually be good. To be honest with you, he probably thought that I was some overrated bum that just, you know, thinking I'm some young punk, and that was probably his mentality.
I thought the same, that the underestimated thing, but I thought that he thought he was going to come in and that leg kick was going to dominate, and you weren't going to really know how to handle some of that.
Yeah,
he wasn't thinking about the strategy behind it. I mean, that was apparent. Yeah,
you could tell that he thought like the veteran status he had was going to really carry him.
He thought it was, and one thing that he said before that fight, he said, this guy ain't done nothing. He can't do nothing to me that I ain't seen already. And that right then is when I knew I had the advantage, because there's a lot of things that I do that nobody's done to him, and that nobody has the ability to do because nobody knows those positions. And I do have positions that I do that nobody else does. So I knew right there, right before the fight, just by watching this little pre-fight interview, that his mentality was not particularly... When I went to fight him, hey, if you'd asked me, what do you think about him? I'd have said before the fight, I think he's the best kicker I've ever fought.
Yeah.
I think he's got the best resume. I think he's the most explosive.
Yeah.
And I would have been a little bit more aware of some of his threats,
Yeah.
but luckily he was not aware of some of the threats that I brought to the table. He simply thought that I was he did not defend a single takedown.
Yeah.
He did not. He's never fought somebody that he has not defended their takedown attempts. He did not. He did not think that I was capable of doing things that I was capable of doing, and he verbalized it. He said before the fight, "Oh, this guy ain't done nothing I ain't seen." Yes, I do. Yeah, I've done stuff. I enter smoother. I hold him down better.
Yep.
Check the rap sheet.
I do things differently, and his lack of acknowledgement is what kind of gets him surprised. At least when he landed his kicks, I wasn't surprised. I was like, shit, I knew he was going to. Yeah, I knew that shit was going to hurt. Now, I was surprised at just how fast and how accurate it was, even knowing, okay, this is Edson Barbosa's going to kick my leg. When you see that leg come that fast,
It's fast.
it's just like, holy shit, this is what I've been waiting for however many months, but it just happened so fast that it's like, I can't believe it's that fast.
Your adrenaline's rushing. You're like, I got to get this guy on the ground or something.
Yeah,
and
I just resorted to backing up when he kicked. Back up when he kicked.
And his energy is just, he could tell he got tired too. He got tired.
Well, I'll say at the end of the day, the sheet speaks for itself. I mean, you dominated in my opinion. Do you know you got an ETA on the next fight? I know you probably get asked that all the time.
Maybe by the end of the year is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, my question is like, so right now you're training, but like when does it kind of shift into your next, like when you find that, is it like right when you find out who you're going to fight, you start kind of prepping, for that
Turn
person?
it up a notch.
Well, it just depends at what phase of training I'm at.
Yeah.
It depends. I've been going pretty hard lately, so I might just might turn up a little bit right now. Might just stay at the same intensity.
Yeah.
Depends when the date is. Depends who the opponent is on how much studying I'll do of them, because a lot of fighters already have studied them, but
Really?
I could always do some more studying. It won't hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and then more specific drills for things that I think is going to happen, because a lot of these times where I'll do these drills, we'll get in the exact spots I thought we would, just because it's like when I go here, I do this, and when they get there, they do that. So you can kind of predict what they're going to do, and you'd be surprised how many times I've done film study, and then the exact spot that I've been working on, we get to. And then I do exactly what I was working on, and then, it never goes, but one little moment will go exactly how I wanted it to. Now, after that moment, they might do something and something counter, but for that moment I won the fight because I had been prepared for that one moment in that one situation, and it put me up in a better spot than for that split second.
That's cool,
dude. It's so impressive what you're doing. I mean, and you're still, and the thing that makes your whole story like really come together and separates it from a lot of people is you're like Arkansas born and raised, and you're still here. Like, you're still putting on for Arkansas. You didn't like move out. A lot of people move, they get out of Arkansas, and they don't think you can live in Arkansas and be big time or do big things like you're doing. You're still here in Arkansas. I want to just know, like, kind of, I don't know if a lot of people get to hear this enough, is like where you like started in this journey, sort of like, because I know like you did wrestling, right?
I did wrestling in high school.
I went to Cabot schools. Were you in Cabot schools?
I sure was. I went to Cabot.
Was it there that you started wrestling?
So I started wrestling when I was 17. I started wrestling. First year I got second in state, which I should have won, but I just mental lapse. I was I didn't visualize myself winning. I thought, well, it's my first year. I don't know if I can win my first. Just shouldn't have thought like that.
So
but
you started at 17?
That's when I started wrestling. Now I'd already had MMA fights when I started wrestling. Okay. So I actually started MMA first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I'd already had MMA fights when I started wrestling. In fact,
I know that.
In fact, my strategy for wrestling, for a wrestling match, I would shadow box. And because I was not the best wrestler, but I was tougher than pretty much everybody except that one year. That 1 year in state, that guy beat me because I was not prepared to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'd already made up in my mind, wow, I can't believe I made it to second. And blah, blah. It just shouldn't have been. It was almost like I was a surprise that I should have been there. When really,
contentment.
It was contentment got me killed out there.
Get you every time.
Yes, and so it showed, because he ended up getting me, and I should have got him. I started out winning that match, and then I was like, man, I can't believe I'm winning. And you shouldn't be thinking that. You should be thinking, no shit, I'm winning. Man. I'm going to keep winning, And so, but, it was a growing process, and I didn't always, it's just how you start, you know.
I mean, you had to start somewhere. And
I still make mistakes all the time, those little moments. But I'm trying to close up the holes in the game and the mental lapses, because that's what that was. When you're in the middle of a match going, I can't believe I'm winning. Well, shit, you should have visualized yourself winning. I mean, as stupid as that sounds, you'd be beating some guy. It's like, this guy was like 15 pounds bigger than me. I mean, he was jacked. And seeing wrestling, you used to have to weigh in, and there's a 58 weight class, and it goes from 52 to 58. And then if you want to wrestle 58, the next bump is like 170. So it was something like that. And so I won the 58 wrestle off for my teammate. You wrestle your teammates to see who wrestles at the 58 spot. So I beat my buddy for the 58 spot. He actually threw me on my ribs, and me and that boy, his name was Seth, and one time Seth threw me on my ribs and almost broke my rib. But, man, we went at it, and I beat him for that 58 spot.
Dang.
Coach comes up to me after practice. He says, Bryce, I know you won the 58 spot, but I think that we didn't have another 170er. We didn't have nobody fight for wrestle for 170. As the coach said, I think you'll do better at Seth than 170, because if we don't put you at 170, Seth is going to go 170. He's going to get crushed out there. He said, you go out there at 170.
How much did you weigh at this?
58.
Oh, you were 58.
And so these guys are cutting to 70. And so I'm fighting this guy, or I'm wrestling this guy who's jacked the fuck up at 170.
What are they walking at?
He's probably 75, 80.
You think so?
He's probably
you had to put on
80.
some weight, I guess.
Well, this is what I would do for the scale, for the weigh-in. You'd have everybody in the damn, all these guys cutting weight. Like I said, this guy went up against a state, just big old jack, just solid muscle, 170, and I'm at 58. Looking at him, he's cutting to 70, dying. So I'm knowing he's 180 pounds, and I'm 158. And so, I could have beat him, but I let the size difference. I said he's too big, and he's that bullshit. He's not. I could have won that match.
Yeah.
I had not. But anyways, so they was all getting on the scale about 170 basically, cutting to it, and since I was 58, should have been in the lower weight class. I didn't have to cut weight.
You were eating.
So I would weigh in shoes, jeans, a t-shirt, and I would make a point. I'd have a peanut butter jelly sandwich on the scale with me, and while I was weighing, I'd eat a sandwich, and I'd look at all of them while I was eating my sandwich. I'd make eye contact. They see me eating a sandwich while they're over there, they're dry. Their lips are dry. They just ain't had water in 5 hours, and they're sweating and shit. And I'm looking at them. I'm eating a sandwich. And I'm eating. I got my shoes on.
They're already
jeans.
pissed at you at this point.
Yes, and I mean, just imagine that some guy, some dumbass, just up there eating a sandwich on a scale, and doesn't even care about his weight, And so that's what I would do. And so I went on the scale. I had a sandwich, blue jeans, shoes, shirt, just eating. Next day, show up, and this is all mental warfare. At this point. The sandwich serves no purpose. It's not. It's just it's a big fuck you. Yeah, it's a big fuck you. It's a guys, I can eat a sandwich and kick your ass. And so and then the next day, what I'll do before a wrestling match, because I had more MMA experience. And so that's what I kept telling myself, is like, if one of these guys wanted to fight you, you would kick their ass. But with the wrestling rules, I didn't know all the rules. I really didn't. I still to this day, I don't know tilts and turns. I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. I really don't. I go to hold them down and pin them and put their back on the mat. The tilts and the turns, it's stupid. But you get points for it, and it's it's reasonable, you know, because your back's exposed, so you get tilt points. I never got a tilt point. I didn't know what the hell a tilt point was. Had to do one. I go for pins. I go for slams. I go, you know what I'm saying?
Going for the dub.
I'll go to push the motherfucker out of circle. I'll go just push them. I mean, just if nothing else fails, because you
get points for that.
Well, if they back up the whole time, you will get a stalling. Oh, okay. So if anything, what I would do is, because I was not very good at actually getting to them because I didn't know how to close the distance. I was an MMA fighter. My closing distance is punching people. Yeah, that's how I grab their legs. I punch them in the face, and that's
how do you stop yourself from like throwing a punch in like a wrestling?
Well, I'll shut that off, you know. But the main thing in a wrestling match is a headbutt.
Really.
That's how you get somebody if you're going to get them, because as soon as you throw a punch, you're disqualified. But if you headbutt somebody, well, that's their fault, because they could run into your head. But say at the last second you ducked your head and then they run into it. So it's really more the headbutts you got to concern about, and somebody that's also doesn't care about headbutts, they will headbutt you, and then but before the match, so you gotta watch out for headbutts. Before the match, I would always shadow box, which is basically where you throw punches at the air. And so it would be, you know, everybody's probably thinking this is a wrestling match. Why is this motherfucker over here throwing left hooks and uppercuts and shit? And that's my warm up routine. It's purely mental. I wanted them to know, if you fucking headbutt me, I'm gonna beat your ass. and it was a subliminal message.
Were you prepared if they headbutted you to take them out?
Absolutely. I was prepared to fight, but all of the wrestlers were just really good guys. There was one guy who we went at it. We started doing illegal. We started doing cheap shots, and no punches was thrown, but we just both pretty much, it was unspoken snap, and we were both going for cheap shots. And well, it started out with him rear naked choking me, and I didn't want to tap. I about tapped out, but I was like, it's a wrestling match. You can't tap out in a wrestling match. But I could not breathe. He was fucking rear naked choking me, and you know, it's illegal in wrestling. Yeah. I didn't want to tell the ref, hey, he's choking me. Yeah. I was so fucking mad. All I was thinking is, if I can get to him around his legs, I'm going to pick him up and slam him as hard as I possibly can. And it took me about 2 or 3 minutes, but eventually I got to that spot that I wanted. I picked him up and I slammed. Now, I lost points when I slammed him, but I didn't care about the points. I was trying to fuck him up.
At that point, you're just getting him back.
We were just getting back. And so, I mean, that's a strategy. If you're going to slam him, might as well slam him hard, because you're going to get the same penalty. Now, granted, if the match ends, that happened to me one time. I did an illegal slam on accident, didn't really know it was legal, ended the match.
Really?
Guy couldn't breathe. Now that happens, and that one was actually, we weren't going back and forth cheap shots. I did a throw that I didn't even know was legal. It was badass, but you know, it was a very he landed hard. Yeah, and that's crazy. Your knee has to touch the ground before them. All my weight came right down on them. And like I said, it's happened to me before. Not fun. Happens.
It happens.
I mean, that's just so like cool to see, like having like starting in MMA, then hopping into wrestling in like high school, and then just doing that is cool. I mean, and it's like right down the road from where we're at right now. So just all here, right here in Arkansas. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine weighing in the UFC eating a PB&J?
Yeah.
Maybe try that. Would they get mad?
Look him dead in the eyes.
Yeah, so my first UFC weigh-in, you know, only weighed in at 147 pounds a day of the fight. So really 146, actually.
Yeah.
So I went into the fight, you know, now I walk around at 165. So imagine me fighting myself from 5 years ago. I'm 20 pounds bigger. You know, really on the Edson fight, I was 14 pounds bigger. I was 12. I went in there. I was light on the Edson fight. I was 59, which is real light for a 45er. You're supposed to be 65. Most of these guys 65 to 70. You know, but I went in there 59. But man, I was light. I was fast. I could, and it. You know, I needed that footwork on that fight, because the last thing you want to be is slow in front of Edson, because he wins those battles. Yeah. You know, and so I was real fast, elusive with my feet, ended up in my favor. But when I first came in the UFC, it was 146 pounds a day of the fight. That's not good, you know, and so I put on 20 pounds of muscle. Just eating and working out.
What do you usually eat to like put on that weight?
Shoot, pretty much everything day. I had bacon and some eggs. Been drinking a lot of raw eggs.
Really? You drink them? You just drink the raw ones?
Yeah, I had 8 raw eggs today.
Like throughout the day, or how many?
Yeah, I had 2 smoothies. I put eggs, fruit, frozen fruit, and honey.
I like the frozen fruit. I've never put an egg in there. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I've never thought about that either.
Yeah.
Put your
Get
raw
boost in protein.
Well, it's a great boost in protein, and the great thing about it is the texture it adds to the smoothie. It's incredible. Like makes them thicker. Oh yeah, brother, it's a secret recipe for smoothies.
You know, it's interesting. The spinach, if you put that, you can't taste it.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
you
frozen,
can't.
Especially if it's frozen.
I completely agree. Put a little spinach in there. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Throw that as a monthly drink special next month.
Yeah, we're always trying to do some drink specials at Nova Joe.
Man, I'm telling you, I make a dang good smoothie, man. You just got to get the FDA to approve it.
You should definitely start. You should do like a series, man. Like the Thug Nasty smoothie or whatever you call it. You know,
brother, I'm telling you,
you could sell a smoothie, dude.
I'm telling you, I've
trademark that thing.
I've got great smoothies.
Patent pending.
I really do, and I would like to have maybe a smoothie shack or something one of these days.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be cool if you ever want to start up a smoothie shack.
No, you can come. You can
park
look at it.
If you want a smoothie shack, holler at me because I've got the recipes, and I'm working on the egg production.
We got the marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're here. Marketing, entrepreneur,
and
got the minds here.
Absolutely. And the thing about it'd be like a post-workout kind of spot. You got your like guacamole. That's another good thing I make. Yeah. So you got your chips, your guac, your smoothie.
You got the guac, huh?
Brother, I make some great guacamole.
Really?
I love it. You put some cilantro.
We're going to have to do a dinner session sometimes.
We should do a show where we were just like getting the food going. I mean, that'd be cool.
That would be.
But something healthy, you know what I mean? And be for...
you do all natural stuff like that, right? I mean,
well,
for the most part.
As much as I can.
Yeah,
I still go eat Dairy Queen all the time.
Well,
I love that Dairy Queen.
I mean, more like, you got the like Impact Nutritions and that kind of stuff, got all these chemicals. I think it'd be cool doing a post-workout type smoothie like that.
Do you use
I think so.
What's that stuff?
Jocko, yes. Now he makes all... Okay, if you had to guess what my favorite Jocko product is, what do you think it would be? He makes... all types of supplements.
That's tough.
Greens, proteins, cognitive stuff.
Protein powder? What is it?
My favorite thing is jeans. The Jocko jeans is probably the best.
What is that?
Really?
They're by far the Jocko jeans is the best jeans I've ever worn.
Jeans.
Like actual jeans.
Really?
They have jeans.
I wore them today, actually. Yep.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
What's good about them?
Well, let's start in Bain America. Bain America.
Gotcha.
Well, we'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yep. But we
need more of that.
Yeah, it's an actual work jean.
Okay.
It's got 4 good pockets in it. The pockets ain't cheap with holes in the bottom. It's good pockets, and a little bit of stretch. But durability.
I was gonna say, what's the durability like? Because I know you're out there on the farm. You're probably needing something.
They're my best pair.
Really?
For sure. But they have a little bit of stretch to them. They're $200, but I tell you what, ain't none of this $200 pair of jeans with the holes already in them. You seen that crap?
Already falling apart.
people buy these jeans with holes in them. Hey, give them to me, and I'll give them back to you with some holes in them in about 3 weeks.
I'll have to get my dad a pair of those. See if he can get them tested out.
Yes,
Jocko.
And it's Origin is the brand. Origin, that's his product's name, but it's Origin jeans. And I think there's one called Delta 68. I don't know if that's the pair that I have, but the pair that I have, brother, best jeans I've ever worn.
Dang.
Nice pockets, a little stretch on them. Not too much stretch, but just enough, and still durability.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
You listen to Jocko's podcast?
I have not listened to a bunch of them. I listened to part of one with him and JP Donnell.
They have a unique vibe to their show. I feel like they reach a different, like a definite audience for this.
Yeah.
The one I like the podcast you've been on was the Theo Vaughn. That dude is hilarious. How's he in person? He's cool.
He's badass.
Dude, that dude is freaking awesome.
He's real good because he just takes care of his guests. Like whenever I was in town, he made sure that I had food and a ride to the gym. Just a good guy because a lot of people, once you get there, they don't give a shit.
Where's he based out of?
Well, he's from Louisiana, and then he moved to Nashville now.
Oh, okay.
So
Nashville?
Yeah, he was in L.A. the first time I went there with all this government bullshit. He moved out of there.
Wait, he was in, like, California?
California, yep.
That'd be the worst place to be.
Yep, and that was where I met him the first time, and luckily,
I'd get way away from there.
I'm glad he did.
Joe Rogan got away from there. Elon Musk got away from there. Everybody's getting away from there.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
It's bad.
I've heard this stat the other day, which I don't know how true this is. One Google we could find out, but basically half of our federal tax dollars go to there.
Gosh,
and I believe that.
I would believe that.
I mean, dude, that makes me sick.
Oh, it's sickening, especially everything that's happening right now.
Makes me want to secede. How is half of our budget going to one state?
Yeah.
You know, in that one state, it's the most debt out of all of them. And
Did you see Joe Biden fall off his bike the other day?
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Well, but whoever put him in the bike is stupider than he is for trying to ride the bike. Whoever put his dumb ass on a bike, that's the guy who we should be making fun of, because that guy's a fucking
His salary
idiot.
needs to be cut. You know he's making too much money.
Yeah. I don't know who's tweeting for this guy right now, but I just keep getting these, like, people responding to these tweets. But I mean, 13 hours ago, literally our president of the United States Twitter says, "My administration will do everything in its lawful power to fight back against the devastating decision overturning the Roe versus Wade to protect the fundamental rights of women." Like, they're just firing shots at like every decision that's made.
Yeah, he's a puppet. Is what he is, and it's sick, and it's like, damn, man, it's like, do you laugh at it, or it's so bad, it's like you almost don't want to laugh, but the only thing you can do is laugh at it, because it's like, it's so terrible. But,
I mean, look at that.
It was rigged, and he is a puppet, and
they're wanting him to run again.
Yeah, he can't even run a damn treadmill. He sure as hell can't run the country.
Well, I think most people, people got to start understanding. I just don't know if it's going to happen. It's just like, I know some people that I've heard of people that voted for him are like, feel like stupid idiots right now because how they see everything happening.
Is the same disapproval rate or, like unhappiness rate as Trump did. And no one's talking about that. When Trump was in office, that's all they talked about. Man, 40% of the country hates him, blah, 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 blah. It's the exact same number right now with Joe Biden, and no one's talking about it.
I guarantee you more people hate him, and they lied on the Trump numbers. And
It's so corrupt, dude.
It's so corrupt that you can't believe nothing, and I firmly do believe economic collapse is coming. That's why I wanted to start in the farming.
Mm-hmm. You think the recession's coming?
There already is a recession, and I guess a recession, the definition of it is like a low economic output. I mean, it's hard when you're talking about defining a term, and it's like, okay, are we actually in a recession? You got to define a recession. Yes, you got to find. Well, and I don't know what
they're going to say. We're not,
Yeah, because it's not because of this, that. It's and here's why they're saying it ain't a recession, because they're saying, oh, well, our spending is still up, but it's on an inflated dollar that ain't worth the fuck. You see what I'm saying? And
even back
it
that
is
up
a recession.
Like, they're basing a lot of that off of like the previous 2 to 3 years. What was the pandemic? There was no spending going on because no one could spend money. Like, obviously, your numbers are going to be up from those numbers. Like, I hate that comparison so much. One thing I was going to go back to is the California thing. Oakland has one of the highest inflation rates in the U.S., and they have the highest minimum wage rate in the U.S. They also have the highest unemployment rate and the highest homeless rate in the entire U.S. And it's all of those numbers are now being mimicked by our like entire U.S. system. And so I think, there's about to be a huge economic collapse because of that. It's crazy. Yep,
and I think a food shortage is coming. And I think it's going to be bad. And, I don't think 2,000 cows in Kansas or whatever, Oklahoma dropped dead in one day. Yeah. Because of heat. I think that they're fucking poisoning cows. I think they're burning down food processing facilities. I think they're burying potatoes in the ground. I've seen videos of it.
They're burying potatoes?
By the dump truck.
The cow thing doesn't make sense. If you've ever been around cows, like, they're smart enough to go
get some
shade.
Yeah,
like,
they wouldn't all die on the same day. Like, it would be like some of them are going to be in much worse condition and health. Like, okay, pregnant mama, they're going to die. Midget babies, they're going to die. Yeah. The strong bulls, like, they're probably going to last the longest. Now, they might still have a heat stroke, but it ain't going to be the same day as the baby who's a little bit deformed. Like,
exactly.
Like those, and the pregnant mom, like those, they're stressed more, and so they would die first. But all these cows died in one day. Bullshit, man. They poisoned them. And
it's a very disgusting time we're in right now. I mean, trying to take the guns away, trying to take everything, that we should be able to have.
oh, they're definitely trying to take guns, and they'll stage however many school shootings they got to stage, and just so that they can blame the guns.
Well,
and
it's stupid. I mean, they better not. I don't think they'll come to Arkansas trying to take the guns. That ain't gonna work out for them.
Well, they're no, it sure won't, and the thing is they're probably going to resort to shutting down ammunition factories, kind of like they did with Corona. They shut down the #1 brass producer in the world. So it's
Better
like
stock up.
Yeah, that's and now they've got the ammunition to where it don't even last for more than 10 years. You know what I mean? So they started like ammunition
Killing the
back.
potency of it.
Yeah, so in the 60s, ammunition used to store longer. So we'll come down to back to bows and swords and shit. But I'm telling you, man,
You
it's
can always refill.
yeah. You can reload. You got to find gunpowder and brass, and then
That's true too.
but it's possible. I think that there are people that would band together, form army, make ammunitions, and have access to mines. I don't know how you get brass. I think you mix copper and
Shoot, I have no clue.
We can figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but we need some of that shit.
Something. We need.
We'll be melting down brass pots and shit like anything brass.
Yeah.
But, you need your brass and you need powder. I think you can mine both of those.
Yeah.
But shoot, we need salt. They're gonna shut down electric. They're gonna get it so damn expensive. Run your electricity that you're just gonna say, wow, I'll just rather not have electricity. So you need salt as a preservative. I mean, just goes back to old school ways of thought, and we could easily, if the government did all that shit and shut down the power grid and all that, and we could still survive. And form a resistance and fight for liberty. And sadly, I think that's and the reason that I think that that's the only answer is because you got to understand, these people are truly fucking evil. It's not that they're so stupid. It's in my opinion, it ain't so stupid that they've caused inflation. It's they've targeted it. They've tried to make the price of gas go up. They've tried to make the price of your food go up. They've tried to kill your cattle. 2,000 dead in a day. All these food processing plants, they're burning them. The vaccinations, they're meant to kill you. They got all these people dropping dead from vaccines. That I don't think it's because they're stupid. I think they're intending to do that maliciousness, and it's basically like a tumor. Like, I don't know shit really about medical field other than put alcohol on cuts and stuff like that, but I would imagine if you're a doctor and you got a tumor in somebody's brain and you're going to cut their head open and take that tumor out, I would imagine you're not going to leave a chunk of that tumor and say, well, it's only a little chunk. No, because that motherfucker's going to grow back and it's going to come back worse, and you better get that fucking tumor. And it actually, I think it's this way. If you would ask a medical professional, I think he would say, we will compromise a couple cells of that surrounding area. We will. It's so important to get that tumor. We would rather lose a couple cells than leave any cell of that tumor. And I think these motherfuckers in charge are like tumors. And if we don't take every single motherfucking one of them out, that they're so corruptive, they're so evil, and they will stab you in the back so bad that they could just a couple of them could fuck it up for everybody because they have no consciousness. And I think that we have some real tumors out there.
We do.
And
Nancy Pelosi.
You need the fucking tumor, bro. She's a leech. She ain't never worked for shit in her whole life. And tell me how you got a $1 million house and you're working on a budget of what, $50,000 a year?
Literally what I was about to say.
Didn't her husband just get a DUI?
Yeah, what?
I was talking about the stock market thing.
She's insider trading out there. Yes, man. So she's insider trading, taking deals from all these other countries, like Joe Biden getting his money from China and Ukraine and all that shit. Man, so right in front of our faces, they've already committed treason. If you take a public office and then you do your insider trading, you do something that somebody normal without your power, if you use it to gain financially from that, you've committed treason, in my opinion. Now, the thing with treason is, you know what the penalty for it is. Death. The penalty for treason is death, and if it's not, you're gonna get fucking tumors, and the fucking tumors are gonna kill you. You see what I'm saying? But the penalty for treason is death, and we should convict some of these motherfuckers for treason.
It's
and
crazy.
that's the answer. Convict these motherfuckers from treason, and let justice be served. We already have laws in place that once people get convicted of treason, what should happen to them. But until man, we take out the tumors, brother. It's going to be bad, and I don't see it getting any worse. Now, I think that they're going to try to rig a second election.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got a big thing coming up here, a couple years. I mean, it's about to get...
I think either way it goes, there's going to be a tipping point. Like, if they didn't, and then, like, say it was Trump and Biden again, and Trump won, the other side's going to freak out so much because that can't be right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then when they do rig it, which is what I think will happen, we'll just have a split is what I think.
I think it's going to be worse the second time if it happens.
I think they're going to try to rig it. They did all these mail-in ballots and all this.
I mean, if
a million votes come in at midnight, bullshit.
I don't know how any logical, literally, and this could be an insult, I do not care. I don't know how any logical person can look at Joe Biden and say he should be the president.
Yeah, I agree, brother. And they picked the stupidest guy they could because he has no self thoughts, and it's like he's easy to control and get what you want out of him.
My favorite videos on the internet
he gets everybody hates Joe Biden. He's not the one making the decisions. He's just a dumbass. He's a puppet. He don't have a clue what's going on.
Don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
He said, "I'll be president."
Yeah, I'll do it. You know, and I almost feel bad for him, but guess what? I don't, because I still think he's evil. I think that his last years, like where he was cognitive, and you watched his interviews, even before he turned into just a complete dumbass.
He's not all there.
You know, it can be reflected in your children. Like your tendencies reflect in your children most of the time. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
And
his children, I mean.
Yeah,
we can talk about Hunter.
Yeah. I mean, he's all that corrupted money from he's getting all that Ukraine money in his personal bank account.
I don't know. It just amazes me.
You know, on a really weird side note, Hunter Biden got subpoenaed to have to go to appear in Batesville, Arkansas at one point.
Well, he did
for his baby mama.
Well, I just trained with him. His name's Princeton, but
really,
he's a good buddy of mine. He come over and trained and. You know, but Princeton is, he's the Joe Biden's granddaughter's not biological dad, but
stepdad.
Yep. And they had a bad breakup or whatever. But, you know, but Princeton's a good guy. Princeton just trained with me.
Yeah.
But
I heard even the girl was nice. Hunter just didn't want to pay up, and they were going to get him in court.
They settled out of court, and couple measly million I think she got, but I mean he's got tens of millions from the Ukraine situation, so he just basically used his political power to just kind of get completely out of that. He should be like, I know that if I had a child with a woman, she'd probably get half all my shit and a lot more. Basically, she didn't even get what she was properly entitled to.
That's another example of that political gain.
And so but that's the connection to Batesville is my buddy named Princeton. He's a Batesville guy. He works on roofs, but he was in a relationship with Joe Biden's granddaughter. He's not the baby daddy, but he was in a relationship with her for a couple of years. He's telling me about her, and you know, it's just typical breakup stuff, you know. They kind of just started, you know, kind of they're broke up now,
just drifting.
You know, just drifting. You know, they went their separate ways. They had a couple of arguments, nothing crazy, but you know, he's not there for that baby. You'd think all that millions that you stole from the fucking Ukraine, you could at least give it to the grandchild, but no, man, they're so greedy they don't give a shit about their own. You know what I mean? And all they want is more. It's like that tumor is never going to tell itself, hey, I'm going to stop growing. No, it'll just keep.
So many of them in there right now.
And what they don't realize is, like, you would think a tumor would be smart enough to, like, take over your brain enough to where it wouldn't kill you. But, like, a tumor's not that smart. It's just going to corrupt your whole brain and kill you. You know, like, if a tumor were smart. Yeah, and when it kills you, it kills itself. He says it's a total dumbass. It's like if a tumor were smart, it would grow up as big as it could without killing you.
have control without you knowing that it's got control.
Right, exactly.
They
but
can't.
the tumor is so stupid, it'll kill its host, even though its host is the only thing keeping it alive. That's how stupid these people are political. They're tumors, they're leeches. They'll suck you dry, and they're dead too.
Yeah,
it'll kill them and suck you dry, but they don't give a shit. They're just a leech. They don't even think about that. They're just pure leeches.
What's been trending everywhere right now is how dumb his press secretary is. I mean,
yeah.
she can't answer. It's this new girl. What's her name? Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, I've seen.
Have you seen the videos of it? I've
not seen her speak. I've not
Dude,
seen.
It's bad. She's getting a lot of backlash. I mean, he just promoted her in May. So like a month ago.
Yep, you'll watch some.
I mean, you're gonna have to watch this. She can't answer a question straight at all. Like every question that is asked to her, she says a remark that is just so out of left field, and people are like, "What are you talking about? That's not even what we asked."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she's just trying to divert.
Why Fox News said she has no clue what's going on. It's like the whole staff doesn't like. There's
that's a reflection of him, though. Too.
Was an example of a question that she was asked?
I'm trying to look up some. No, let me.
It's just like it wouldn't even matter the question. It's just like what do you think about the inflation rate? Well, our team is working on that. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's very like
she makes Kamala Harris look coherent. I know this is
she's bad, man.
I certainly wouldn't want to be Joe Biden's mouthpiece. Biden doesn't even know what he's saying himself. Imagine how hard it is to speak for him. But come on, Pierre's only been at this job for a month, and everybody already knows she'll be replaced. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's like out with the old new change him out.
Yeah.
Somebody said, has Pierre ever met Joe Biden? Doesn't seem like it. She has no clue what's going on.
You know what phrase I'm tired of hearing Joe Biden say? Let me be clear. He says it every single time he talks. And if I have to hear the word "let me be clear" one more time,
that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, man!
Yeah, the biggest thing has just been the communication. I think they're calling it a communication crisis.
She's trying to swerve everything. She
doesn't know what she's doing. It's like almost like they just picked some random person and said, "Here's $180,000 a year."
That's exactly what they do. And you know what makes me extremely mad is, and I don't know nothing about this position, but there's some person, I think it's a HHS. Mm-hmm. Health and Human Services or some shit department, and it's a transvestite.
Really?
And it's like, and we need to look up this person's name, and we need to look up the picture of him.
Yeah.
Or her. No, it's a him.
Who is it?
And I ain't calling her her. I ain't calling it's a dude, and it looks like a fucking dude. And I don't care what he wants to be called. He ain't going in the bathroom with my daughter.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you greasy motherfucker. I'm telling you right now, you can look this guy up, and it's a dude. And he's trying to act like a chick, and he puts a wig on. It makes me want to throw up, but... Man, that's just what's going on, man, and he runs the HHS, I think, and man, you couldn't make this shit up, man. But it's a dude
probably making an ungodly amount of money too,
making a lot of our taxpayer dollars. And this guy's going to tell me about. I think HHS stands for Health and Human Services or something like that. We need to really.
Are you talking about the guy in charge of it?
Yes. If you pull up a picture, I'll confirm.
Of HHS,
I think, and I can't remember. I get all these letters mixed up.
There's so many of them.
I've been hitting the head too many times, and there's too many of them.
This guy.
Yes, that's the dude.
Admiral Rachel L. Levine.
That ain't no Rachel. That's a Robert. That's a Robert. And he ain't never going in the bathroom with my daughter. Never. He ain't never going to the bathroom with my daughter. Never will he go in a bathroom alone with my daughter. And that's what they want. Now, he runs what I believe.
The Department of Health and Human Services.
This dude who changed his name to Rachel, he runs Health and Human Services. It is HHS. So I was right. That's one time my memory served me right. But yeah, and that's disgusting, man. That he's acting like a woman and he's a dude. And you can say it's one thing to be like, I don't know. He says he's a woman. He's not. He's a dude. And whatever, you can say whatever you want. That runs HHS. So that's going to tell my kid how to be healthy. That kid ain't even healthy enough to tell you his gender, and that's supposed to be. It is, but this goes back to it just being purposely planned to be evil. Mm-hmm. These people ain't this stupid. These people know it's satanic to me, and what they're trying to do is convince. They're trying to weaken us by weakening our armies. If you get the dudes, the male are typically the warriors. if you can get, I don't know, maybe 20% of these warriors to think that they're girls, they're not going to fight as hard when it comes down to, okay, we're taking your guns now. If they can get as many of these guys to turn themselves into girls, they're going to lose their warrior abilities, because they're going to lose the mindset of a man, and a man's supposed to be a strong warrior, and women can be warriors too. I'm not saying they can't, but a guy's more inclined just off of his physical build and
natural genetics
to fight for the women.
Yeah.
And it just serves them better. But they're trying to get, my thing is that it's satanic, and they're basically trying to get the man to submit his warrior status, because it makes the country weaker, easier to infiltrate from the outside. And so they put this dumbass who acts like a chick in charge of the HHS to make it seem as if he's healthy. And he's not.
They're trying to paint the image of what they want everything
right.
to be.
It's an agenda instead of an actual like goal. And it becomes a generational culture. You get 20%, and then it spreads and spreads and spreads. Society, it's a generational culture. You can be 50% within 10 years.
It's society.
That's right. They're trying to chip away at it. Maybe in 20 years they can get, you know.
It happens quick.
It happens quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You listen to Ben Shapiro ever?
I have a little bit.
He's very knowledgeable. Yeah. Me and Zach were talking about him before this, but with everything going on, I feel like he says, like, he's so.
He's
like,
well-versed.
I can't argue with somebody that has these views, because I'll just get mad, to be honest. I just can't. I get frustrated. I get overwhelmed. I may, like, get a little rude. He's good about, like, spitting the facts, you know.
He's
especially when he talks
well
about.
Versed. I'll have to get you a link or something. He's really interesting to listen to. He's got some really good viewpoints on it.
I do like Ben. Yeah, and he's a great talker. Uses a lot of big words.
I mean,
keeps them flowing well. You know,
they're trying to. There's a lot of things that are happening. Whether it's, you know, just everything that's going on right now with, you know, this guy, or, you know, whatever's happening. What's happening is there's a lot of cop outs for mental illness. And those kind of things, and it's like it's sickening, and it's sad, you know.
Yeah, you know,
a lot of mental illness, and
and I believe that guy running the HHS who's acting like a girl, I think that stems from mental health. Right there.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe the girl of his dreams turned him down, or maybe he got depressed because something in his life depressed him and made him
extreme. Yeah,
something extreme, and he decided that I'm not going to be a man no more, and thought that was the acceptable way, and I don't think that it just ain't supposed to be like that,
it's
man.
Not. It
ain't, brother. And when you start taking these chemicals and you chop your dick off, you can't go back to normal.
Yeah.
You can't. You're fucked. And guess what? All these people realize that, and they kill themselves. Well, and then they want to turn on me and make me look like
the rates are higher.
And
that's what I was just about to say. That Ben says, like, the suicide rate pre-transition's 40%. Post-transition is like 72%.
It goes up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they want to turn it on me, and they want to say, well, I'm bigoted and I'm unaccepting. I'm not non-accepting.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but I'm not letting that guy who chopped his dick off and takes these estrogen pills babysit my kid.
Yeah, no
You
way.
will not be near my kid.
No way.
You will not do it.
And
so if I can't trust you with my kid in a lone room because I don't trust your mental health capacity. You might harm my child because you don't even care about your own well-being. How can I put you in charge of the HHS?
It's the same thing. You're not going to put a kid in a room with somebody that's struggling with severe schizophrenia.
Nope.
You know,
any type of mental,
illness,
you know. But and a dude who's chopped his dick off and taking estrogen, I don't want him handling my daughter.
No.
He might have some type of natural sexual inclination.
Hell
That's a hell no.
Hell,
like you said, hell no.
Well, and it's all about, like, the chemical imbalance. It's not natural.
It's not natural.
The best thing I've ever heard, though, is it's you can't have a physical change for a mental fix. You can't change your physical status and be able to change your mental status. They don't. That's not how it works. To get your mental right, you have to change your mental. To get your physical right, you have to be physical. You know, and you can't change one and get the other one fixed. It's just not how it works.
Yeah, and then those people do that, and they're stuck like that.
Yeah,
I don't understand, and it's promoted today. This is what people are, you know, praising.
You get praise for it, and I'm telling you, that's
sad. It's literally ignoring somebody's severe mental unstable condition and saying, "Hey, boom."
Reward them. Yeah.
You know how much money the medical industry is making off of it, though?
Oh, you're making so much money.
Selling these estrogen pills, these surgeries.
Absolutely.
How much do you think a surgery costs? I don't even know. I'm willing to bet it's north of $500,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Really, for
I'm sure.
reconstructive surgery?
I don't even know.
Is that what it's called?
But I would be willing to put money on it.
And I'm sure that sounds technical.
Reconstructive.
They gave it a
You're reconstructing something that shouldn't be.
Well, it's technically, I think it's like a reconstructive genitalioplasty or something like that, because it's creating a pseudo.
I call it an implant pussy.
Yes.
You got an implant
same thing.
pussy.
I'm
you
sure
know,
it's
it's
like-
like that. Yeah. There's a technical name for it, and then there's a street name. A street name is an implant pussy, you know. And that's,
You heard them both here.
that's right. You got the scientific side, and you got the street side.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I just can't. We could go on all day about it. It's
right,
so bad.
and yeah, you're right. You know, and there's not a bunch we can do, but hey, talking about it that spreads some awareness.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be people that just say, "Oh, well, you're a piece of shit" or whatever. I've never discriminated against.
No.
One of those people treated me indifferently, but I tell you what, I won't let them babysit my kid ever.
No.
Ever. And I draw the line right there. And you shouldn't be in no position telling no kid shit about health.
Yep.
And I'll tell you that's where I draw the line, where you want to get your hands on my kid, or you want to get in a classroom with my kid, or you want any type of situation where you're influencing my kid, stay the fuck away from them.
Another thing is, when did it become so normal to just say, wake up one day and say, I'm going to be this random thing and I'm going to identify as that?
Or changing gender.
Or changing gender. It's stupid.
Like more than just male female.
What? Yeah.
Like
what is that?
Like we have more than like I mean I don't know how many genders they say we have now. But I mean, it's like 100 or something.
I don't
you can
know,
identify as a fox.
Yeah, have y'all heard of this story?
I'm
this,
sure
this
you
is,
can identify as a fox.
Hey, I'm not going to out this story where it's
Crazy,
from, but there is a local school, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to like out somebody. But there is a school, and I saw this report.
The kid has a litter box.
You
yeah,
saw
that's
that.
in Cabot.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I knew he was going to say that.
This girl, there was a kid at Cabot. Okay, a kid. I don't know who it is. They literally wanted to identify as a cat,
And that's where we
and they
grew
wanted
up.
a litter box in
And
the
they
bathroom at the school. So they
and
went
they
to the
got it.
superintendent. Granted,
How old is this kid?
Now that I'm not sure, but that's in Cabot.
We're talking like kid, not like teenage.
I think teenage. I think.
Now
we
that
talking
I'm
like
not sure.
I'm not really
elementary
sure on the
school?
specifics.
I'd like to know that because that's elementary school. That's
Hey,
kind of more
either
messed
way,
up.
I've heard that
either
through the
way.
grapevine.
Either way, yeah.
But there's a self-identified cat at Cabot and gets a litter box to.
See, that confuses
I
me.
don't know if it's a boy or girl,
is-
but
that is unbelievable.
yeah, I agree, and you know they should
What
just
is
tell them.
that? You're telling me we're because when did it become normal to make changes to a school based on one kid's opinion and in any aspect? If
Everybody's scared to get sued.
I hated some of the stuff.
That's what it is.
Well, I hated some of the stuff we ate in the cafeteria, but just because I hated it didn't mean they were going to change it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
You know?
exactly. You know,
It
and
doesn't make any sense.
If you self-identified as a pizza eater, they'd have to get you pizza all day.
you know, it's like, dude, I can't believe it. There's. You know, I would honestly tell him you're not a cat and you can piss in the toilet. That's what I would tell him, straight up. I would
What
also
about
say
the
if
kid that
you don't-
walks into the bathroom and sees somebody pissing in the litter box?
Yeah. You know,
Is there
I'm
no
telling
rules
you,
on this?
they're scared
Yeah.
to get sued. I promise you that.
But
These
you're
school
telling me-
districts are scared to get sued.
You're
but we
telling
do
me-
have a kid pissing in a litter box.
Is there
Yeah.
somebody actually like dropping one in the bathroom,
what it
just
sounds
dropping
like.
a load?
Who's
Yeah.
cleaning the litter box?
Exactly.
Is the kid or the janitor?
Now we probably got school.
Probably got unemployed janitors.
Probably got janitors now changing out litter boxes.
I would be doing that. That's,
Me neither, brother. And,
I would throw that thing in the dumpster. Man.
and I tell you what, man, that's
sad.
that's bad and looks to me like if I do have a kid, which I would like to, but I definitely homeschooling. I'm not putting them in the public school where the health teacher is tranny telling my kid that they need to be tranny, and then there's a cat pissing in a litter box. It's like, dude, it's too much, man.
I can't handle it anymore. I'm glad I don't go to I'm only 22, so like I was in high school, not too long ago, but I feel like it wasn't to this level as it is now when I was in high school. If it was that level, if I was in that high school right now with this cat thing happening, I don't know how I would react. I would probably be very crazy about it.
It was a different time, man.
Different time.
It was a different time, and shoot, dude. I think there will be a reversion because you can't be. and it'll be like a religious reversion or a spiritual reversion, just a change in mentality where it's like, okay, we're going back to the old way of doing things because this new shit ain't working. It's trash. The economy sucks, and there will be like a reversion, a reset, and
reset's a good word for it.
And we need that.
Yeah, it'd be okay, and hopefully we don't get because I think our leaders are so treasonous. They would sell us out in a heartbeat. They would weaken us up so that the Russian or the Chinese could invade us, and I do believe that the Chinese would come over here and invade us.
You talk about the money we're sending to Ukraine right now.
Yeah, that's right, and we already gave all this military equipment to the Chinese through what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan. When we pulled out of that country, we left all of our battle supplies over there. So I do believe that our leaders are trying to sell us out and get the Chinese to invade them foot over here or get the Russians invade. I think they're really trying to get us taken over. I mean, they're really trying to weaken us at every chance. And guess what? I still think that if somebody come and invaded with us, Middle America would fucking kick their ass.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
You got a lot of press on that during your fight, didn't you? For saying that you wouldn't go over, but you'd defend them, put your boots in the ground or something like that in Arkansas.
Right. I just basically said that I didn't want to go to Ukraine because it's what's going over there is just a bunch of political scandals.
Propaganda.
It's a bunch of propaganda, and man, I'm not going to go die for that. I'd rather die at a some type of civil war or invasion on foot, because I do believe some type of war is coming. And I'm sure a lot of people are paranoid like me. They're just feeling that we're vulnerable. When you feel like you're vulnerable, you feel like anything could happen. Either there be a civil war or there could be a foreign invader come over. But when you're vulnerable, I mean, I'm not the only person thinking that.
Well, that's what I was going to say off that comment is like, you were getting all this press and like everybody was like, oh man, like that's, American and it is. But my dad's like, hell yeah, me too. Like it's not even a second thought. We're not like caught off guard. We're like, yeah, we're right there with you. Like same mindset within Arkansas. And that's why I think you're 100% right. Like Middle America would, they wouldn't want to mess with that.
I saw a TikTok recently. And this is what, we got 4th of July coming up, which doesn't mean as much as it used to for some people, which is sad. So we got that coming up, and this guy was interviewing this girl, and he asked her, he said, what would you choose, Pride Month or 4th of July? She said Pride Month.
Yeah, idiots.
What? And she said, well, 4th of July doesn't mean anything because that was just so long ago. Like they didn't do anything to impact me.
It's so sad.
Like there's people that died, like they gave their lives to fight.
4th of July is the reason you have Pride Month.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy what it's coming to.
Because I actually do believe in like your right to do what the fuck you want to
do. What you want to do, but
now that doesn't mean you get to infringe on my right, which is a whole nother. I think we kind of went over that just a minute ago. Like you don't get to infringe on my right, but do what you want to do. You're right, whatever. But don't infringe on my right. That doesn't dictate what I get to call you. You don't get to dictate the common vocabulary or.
That's right. Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Straight up, a word's a word, a dude's a dude, chick's a chick.
Yeah.
And to me, if you cut something off and call yourself, nope, you're still the same thing to me.
How's the MMA like scene with all this? Like, do they stay kind of out of it, or what do you think about that? Yeah, I feel like you're open on. I don't feel like there's a lot of people like you that are talking about like these. Did they just not ask?
I mean, there is one transsexual fighter.
Wait, what?
And yeah, he went around beating the shit out of these chicks. Yeah, he beat the shit out of them.
No way.
That happened in Texas. Texas too.
Alan Fox is his name.
That's like legit.
He's acting like a chick and just beating the shit out of chicks. Dude.
That's not fair.
In UFC?
No, not UFC.
Okay,
I don't believe Dana would sign
like
him.
That, yeah.
No, because if you put him in the girls division, that ain't right.
Yeah, that's wrong. It's the same thing with the swimmer situation.
Yeah, but he proved once again that the guys do have better genetics.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kicking shit out of these girls, man. And it's funny because the commission actually allows that. It's like, it's so funny to me that the commission, their job is to keep us safe. It's just like any other government organization. They're there to fucking take money out of our pocket. Like, okay, for example, there was this girl. She's a commissioner in Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Like, let alone her incompetence should have got her fired. it turns out she was also thieving too. So she got
Really?
caught thieving. Yeah, but okay, I'll just tell you a story about her incompetence. How that should have gotten her fired. Okay, this is a commissioner. I have to pay these commissioners if I fight on a local show, maybe $100 or whatever. She gets money out of the fighters' pockets
Gotcha.
for just showing up and really not doing shit.
Like locally or what?
Look, yeah, every state has a commission nowadays.
Gotcha.
And so there was a fight up in Magic Springs. Lights went off on the show. Lights went off and
In the middle of the fight?
In the middle of the fight. Now this is they went
keep
off.
going,
They
or
went off twice. Both times they went going. They kept going. And one of the times my buddy was fighting. His name is CJ.
Yeah.
And it went good for him because when the lights come back on, he was in a better spot. So it's like okay, whatever. But
You got to stand still when the lights go off, or what you did?
well, no, they kept moving. They kept the fights going. And so that was about, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock. About 11 o'clock comes around. They're still fighting like the main event, and the lights go off. And now it's pitch black because the sun's completely gone down now. And so this commissioner, she takes her phone light and starts shining it in the cage, like trying to see what's going on. Which doesn't say, hey, stop the fight. Just pulls out her phone light. It's lighting up the cage with the damn phone. A 25 by 25 damn cage, lighting it up with her phone. You can't see a fucking thing in there. So you hear bang, bang, ding, bang, and shit. You hear motherfuckers fighting, but you can't see it. It's pitch black. And the lights come back on, and the fights keep going. It's about a minute. The lights was off, and the fight kept going. So you're talking about a woman who shows up, takes our money for our safety, and then does that shit when the lights go off. Like,
Nice.
bitch, stop the fights.
Yeah. Like, what?
What are you doing? It's your job to be like, hey, stop, pause. We're gonna get the lights on and resume. But I'm glad they didn't stop it completely. But man, I guess in one sense of it, hey, it's fair. The lights was off for both of them. But
Now, do you like doing it? Because I know, like, you're pretty involved locally. I know, like, you freaking go to Walmart whenever you want. You go to, the store. I know you come through Nova Joe's every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I like how you,
fried chicken sandwich with the
Yeah.
pickles.
Yes, sir.
and the cheese on it. Yes, sir.
Well, do you enjoy, like, getting out locally and stuff? I mean, I know, like, now you're probably getting more attention, so I don't know if, like, that ever bothers you or...
Well, it's people say hi, and
Yeah.
it's nothing bad though. I'm not like super famous or nothing, but occasionally people do say hi, and
I
ask
feel like
me.
for Arkansas, you're pretty known, though.
A lot of people have been watching here lately, and that's great. And I'm just really glad to have people watching me.
Yeah.
And because it always wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying?
And how does that feel, like, when it gets to that? Because, like, you've had you were at one point, what did you get your start with the Ultimate Fighter?
That's how I got into the UFC. Was the Ultimate
So,
Fighter.
like, that was probably when your first, like, round of, like, buzz from, like, a lot of Arkansas supporters came too. Was like
that's when I picked up.
I mean, that's kind of when I did too. And
Yeah.
so that growth from that point on has just continued to go up each fight. You've kind of expressed your love for Arkansas, and I mean, you're wearing the must bus shirt right
That's
now.
right, brother.
Dude, that's
so,
awesome.
the funny thing about this shirt is there was a guy in Coach Must sent me this. He sent it to me through the mail through a buddy, or it was through a buddy. And so I was shopping at Harps the other day, and that guy working at the Harps cash register, he goes, "Where'd you get that shirt from? I really like that shirt." I go, "Oh, Coach Must gave it to me."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, right. Coach Must didn't give you." And I was like, "Yeah, he really did. We're friends." And he goes, "Okay, man. Okay."
Did he know who you were?
No, he didn't know.
If he was saying that, he didn't know who he was.
He didn't know UFC or nothing. And so I seen him again. And I couldn't help. So I seen him about a week later. I went in there. I was actually buying apple trees. Harps had 2 apple trees out for $30 a piece, which is a pretty good deal.
That's good.
And so I went and got those apple trees, and I was getting a couple groceries, and I seen that guy again. And I said, "Hey, I'm just going to let you know, me and Coach Muss are friends."
Yeah.
I said, "He did send me that shirt." And this was a week later. Like, he was probably a little bit thrown off that I remembered it for a week. Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, I don't believe that." I go, "Well, I messaged him on Twitter and told him thanks. So we're friends now, actually. We've been talking." And he goes, "You got the messages?" I was like, "Yeah, I
really did not believe brother. He did not believe it.
And so I pulled up the messages.
Picture it ain't real.
It was hilarious, though. But so that commissioner that turned the lights off, right? And the lights got turned off, and she let the fights keep going.
Yeah.
So she gets fired from Arkansas because she got set up. They gave her, they knew that she was stealing, but they had to catch her.
She was stealing money?
Absolutely. Had
Really?
ticket money. Yeah. So like the fighters would give her 5,000 ticket dollars, but only 4,000 get reported. So it's fucking thief. It's a fucking thief.
Accounting did it dirty.
Yeah, did it dirty. So she's stealing from people like me who have to pay
Yeah.
I have to pay $150
She's
to fight.
stealing out of your pocket, man.
She's stealing right out of her pocket, and so that
And probably thought she was justified.
dude, it's crazy,
crazy.
brother. It's like your hand should be chopped off, because I could have died in one of those fights. I paid you $150, for every time I fought, plus my corner's license is another 100, so I might have paid 200 plus just to go into a fight. And this fucking woman is still in it. But anyways,
that's terrible.
So she gets caught, but with the setup envelope, they set her up, and like the whole thing was like they knew how much money was in the envelope. They handed it to her, and then she didn't know that they had already counted the money in the envelope. So she gets it, counts it, takes it, and then
Wait, they set her up?
They set her up, yeah. But to set her up,
the old switch and dodge.
yeah, the old switch and dodge. But how many times do you got to do it to actually get set up? So we know that she probably was doing it dozens of times before she got caught and then set up, and so they were probably trying to do that sting operation for like 6 months before they got her. But anyways, they ended up getting her. She gets fired. Now here's my thing. That's a government employee. You ought to be in prison.
Yeah.
You stole money from a government
She's not?
position. No. Not only is she not in prison, check this out. I was eating a bowl of cereal. I was watching my MMA talk shows.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it shows this fighter misses weight or doesn't miss weight, but they needed the towel. And so when you need the towel, basically that means I'm getting bare ass because I barely made the weight.
Yeah, just barely over.
And if I don't take off my boxers, I'm going to be 0.1 to 0.2 pounds over.
Dang.
It's
So,
serious.
yeah, so you're talking down to I don't want to sweat no more, so I'm just going to take my boxers off.
Full nude.
And I'm going to go full nude, and they're going to hang a towel in front of you to cover up your naked self. And so I'm sitting there eating my cereal thinking, who's this fighter had to get the towel out? That's a close weight cut. And I'm thinking, holy shit, that's her. She's holding up the fucking towel. And I'm thinking, no fucking way. She ought to be in prison. This bitch is fucking stealing this fucking thieving bitch. And that's all I'm thinking. Dude,
cereal flying everywhere.
And dude, there's cereal everywhere. About spit my food out. I was like, no, not again. I was like, she should be in prison. She should be in prison. Any other government job, you get to go to prison.
Yeah.
But no, this fucking woman, she's free.
Wow.
And no, she moved to I Googled it. I'm like, where the fuck was that weigh-in? It was in California.
Oh, of course.
So this fucking woman, she steals some shit from people like me. Gets laid off in Arkansas, but I'll just go do the same thing in California. You know what I'm saying?
So she's doing the same stuff, probably.
Oh well, brother. I mean,
If you get away,
if you get away with it,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It's like, dude, I could sit here and give you a million examples. If you
We
don't
had a
punish them,
teacher in Batesville that was caught for child pornography. The FBI came to his house.
Dang.
And he had been monitoring him, everything. Sent him to jail, gets out on bail, whatever. Right. Moves to California and is allowed to continue teaching children.
That's insane.
Yeah, and so so thief, child porn,
What?
thief.
California.
It's just
Are
go to
you
California.
kidding?
I don't
You
plan on
find a
ever
job.
visiting.
That blows my mind. That infuriates me so much.
Yeah, and that person should be in federal prison.
Yep.
Lock.
Because that's
But they arrest people they put people on weed charges,
That's right. That's why they let them out, to let somebody up on pot.
Yeah.
And
Got a dime bag for 10 years.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's just, dude,
Doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly what's going on, bro.
Dude, I have to ask though, because you were talking about cereal. I'm a big cereal fan.
Big
And
cereal
So
guy.
I have to usually, and it's not healthy, but every night or so, if I'm feeling a little hungry late at night, I get a bowl of cereal, and I have a couple
it.
go-tos. So I'm kind of curious, what's your go-to on the cereal?
I've been eating this one called Life. I don't know if you ever heard
Life
of it.
cereal. I've heard of it.
It is actually
I haven't
pretty
heard of
good.
it.
You like Life?
I do.
What is it?
It's just like kind of like
I'm a big cereal
It's
guy.
very like it's not very like
Chex Mix, but a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
Okay.
but nothing fancy.
You're not
but,
fancy?
Oh, well, dude, when I was a kid, I used to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
I downed a
there's
whole
so
box
many
of Fruity
fucking
Pebbles
charms.
like in
Yeah.
2 nights. Dude.
Love it.
I was trying to get some Fruity Pebbles.
But I stopped eating some of those because it's high in the corn,
really
in
is.
the corn,
I gotta-
in the corn
I gotta
syrup,
chill it out.
and that's why I stopped getting up. But I tell you what, I still go Dairy Queen and eat ice cream. I'm
Yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying, and. Shoot, I need to get bigger. So that stuff's a good thing. It does.
I'm a
put
big
some weight
fan of
on you.
their when they do the mint chocolate chip. I love mint chocolate.
See, that's
chip.
the one thing is mint chocolate. I've never liked mint
You've
chocolate.
never liked it.
I don't like it either.
I'm like
It's
Michael
very
Scott
particular.
with the mint
My
chocolate.
mom loves mint chocolate.
that's
No,
my-
if
it's-
I'm gonna get it, I want some
I'm
like,
a-
just
it's-
chocolate or
Honestly, it stemmed from watching The Office. I watched Michael Scott was a big mint chocolate chip fan, and it always looked good on the camera.
Yeah.
I watched the shows, and I said, I gotta get me some mint chocolate chip ice
I
cream.
love them dark chocolate.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
They
That's
got
good.
these little. They got a s'mores one. It's got these little s'mores pieces. It's got marshmallow and chocolate. It's
I think
really
there's
good.
one called Ghirardelli makes very good stuff. Ghirardelli.
yeah, Ghirardelli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
then
use them for our.
We're the one of the biggest distributors in the Northeast region.
Dude, if you ever get an espresso
You need
shake,
anything, I got
hey,
you.
if you ever get a chocolate espresso shake, we use Ghirardelli chocolate. It's good.
Oh, heck
That's
yeah.
what's up.
And Yarnell's ice cream.
Yeah.
Hey, I might go by
Hey,
there in the
local.
morning because I'm going to
Yeah,
go.
dude.
I got to get some corn for the chickens, and I'll be out and about. I
Dude.
got to get some batteries at that battery warehouse on
Oh,
Ray
yeah.
Street.
Oh yeah.
So I got to get 3 batteries and I get some corn.
Our breakfast is slapping, dude.
Yeah,
So, hey,
that's
it's
good,
at
man.
battery warehouse is right, pretty much by y'all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's on the way, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's-
just give me some Nova Joes.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
you. Dude, my favorite thing on that menu is that chicken sandwich with the egg sunny side
Oh,
up.
man, that
yeah.
chicken and egg.
Dude, it's hard to beat.
Spicy
that, dude.
chicken and egg is the only thing that I like better than that. We don't have it on the menu, but I go in there and make me a spicy chicken and
Oh
egg.
man, I think chicken and egg
It
sounds
gets going.
great.
I don't know if Zach's over there, he maybe will whip you that
I
out.
can hook you up. So be good to go
Dude, we
on
do
there.
have a 30-piece nugget too. If you ever try to put on
Wow.
some gains,
Yeah.
we have a
I
couple.
need
We have a
to
couple
gain
guys
some.
from the gym. They're like huge, and
Yeah.
they come by and just to get that 30-piece because it's
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, how much chicken?
Heck yeah.
What's the weight on that?
It's a pound and a half. Pound and a half
Wow.
chicken.
Pound and a half of
Yeah.
chicken right through the drive-through.
Man, I love that chicken.
Now
that fried
inflation
chicken.
has been crazy though. Like chicken prices
Oh
are out
my
the roof,
gosh,
dude. It's insane.
We started fillets for like 50 cents. It's literally tripled in price.
Mhm.
Literally.
So I
It's
mean,
crazy.
businesses are having to take that hit in a lot of areas, but that's why everybody's
Yeah.
having to raise the prices. You know.
Oh, you have to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just when you're printing off that much
Makes
money.
me sick doing it too. You
Yeah,
know?
there's nothing you can do, and it's the inflation ain't gonna get any better.
No.
It's gonna be very hard to reverse if like this administration. What people don't understand is like damage has already been done, and some of this damage is like it's hard to reverse.
Yeah.
It's just like if you go and let's say for example, if you had to compare a person's health to the economy, I would say debt would be like getting too fat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you get in
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much debt, like that's just a person who just keeps eating another 700 pounds. And it's like you can go back to like, okay, 120 pounds, but the damage, the saggy skin,
Yep.
the
You
clogged.
have to get surgery most times.
You have to get surgery. Your innards ain't gonna work as good. A lot of these people have to cut their stomach. So it's like that's how I look at us. Our economic health. I like to think of it as a person that's just like this complete lazy person who's got way too big. Let's go a step further. Let's take our foreign policy.
Yeah.
All of our foreign policy, our relationship with foreign nations.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a person who is extremely unhealthy, extremely negative,
Toxic.
like
Toxic.
toxic,
Toxic.
and all the relationships with other people are toxic because look at all of our foreign policies.
Yeah.
We lose on every damn one of them.
Toxic
that's like
codependency.
it's toxic. So we have this. Our nation is just a very physically unfit, killing itself in debt. It's basically like like somebody who's extremely overweight and has nothing but toxic friends who come over and
Exactly.
steal their money.
And the
You know
only
what
way
I'm
to
saying?
change it is just a mindset. You got to
it's a
get in
mentality.
a just alpha killer type mindset, and you
Yeah.
will not recover any other way.
Yeah,
you'll always
absolutely.
be slacking after that point.
Absolutely,
So-
and out of necessity, I think we will revert back to that. But like I said, it'll be out of necessity. This bullshit that's going on will keep running. It will run its course.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to touch on too before we finish everything off is you got a lot of I've helped when you came to me one time you were like I want to record some music. I was like okay, this is cool because you actually have a really good sound and a good flow. Like your flow is crazy for like just coming out of nowhere, being like, I want to do some music stuff. Are you working on some more stuff? Like,
I've got about 3 more songs wrote.
what is Darkensaw? I saw you posted about Darkensaw. Is that like a song that's already out? Or is that one you're...
Darkensaw is song number 4 on Pasture Fire. Pasture Fire is a mixtape. There's 7 songs on Pasture Fire. Darkensaw is number 4.
That's right.
Now I'm coming out with a music video for Darkensaw.
Dude,
Okay, is that what that was for? Was the music?
Probably was for the
I've listened to the
video.
mixtape.
Dude, anyway,
Well, thank
we
you
can
for listening.
get a sneak peek of any songs or what?
Man, I've put that one. It's called Truth Is Ugly. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't want to do another sneak peek is because I just like the professional quality coming out all at once. You know what I mean? I like that finished product because when I put out sneak peeks, it's like it kind of loses the pop, I feel like. But the reason I put that last sneak peek out was because the fight was coming up, and I wanted the fight fans to have something cool to look forward to. But
kind of look at.
Yes, but man, the song would have been so much better professional quality. But it's called Truth Is Ugly.
Truth Is Ugly.
And that is the only song that I've done a sneak peek for in this next album. But Truth Is Ugly is going to be on the next mixtape. And the next mixtape's called On White.
Dude, I'm about to play I want to play a snippet of Darkensaw.
Absolutely.
Let them hear it just because the music video is about to come out.
Yeah, music video's coming out. It's going to be really cool.
I can actually play it on here. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, do your thing, brother.
We're going to hear this Darkensaw. Is
you
this
know,
one of the ones we were recording at my
Absolutely.
house?
Absolutely. We worked on this.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's actually who sent me to Kevin, who helped me finalize.
Because Kevin is who I would always gone to kind of get stuff finalized. But like, it's good to get practice in before going there. Because once you get in there, it's different. Your nerves get up.
Yeah, and so I already had all the shit ready.
You had it ready. You're
when
like,
I went to Kevin it took me 2 sessions, bro.
Facts.
So if I didn't come over to your place and get my shit ready for Kevin's, it would have took me like 10 sessions to Kevin.
Yeah.
And so basically,
when you're ready to rock out a ton more song, we can do it again.
Absolutely. And so I've got 3 of them ready, and
Dude, this one goes hard. I like this
I don't
one.
give a fuck, ain't no need to rebuttal. They look in my eyes and they know
Music's
I
gonna
won't
be
buckle.
dope.
Been from the jungle, I've been down to rumble. Give me the microphone, I'll keep it humble. And give me the weight and I ain't on a fumble. That's a bad habit I learned out in Cabot. I'll go get a pound and put it in the attic. If I need some money, then I'ma go grab it. Fighting is good, but that shit is sporadic. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't been living lavish. I'm straight out the trailer, I cook like a sailor.
For the music video,
Dude.
I'm lighting the field on the fire.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a field on fire, and I'm rapping.
Who's shooting the video?
It's called the company's called Bigley.
Really? They got a production team or what?
Yes, they make
That's-
and so man, it's gonna be really.
That's
cool,
a
I
freaking
think.
awesome
It's
video.
gonna be
That's
my
awesome.
first legit music video.
That's awesome.
I guess my first music video was "Truth Is Ugly."
Yeah.
but that was just like on a phone in the trailer. You know
I
what
mean, that the flow isn't. That's
Right,
what surprised me is when you came to record. You didn't even like need your notes. Like when I do a song, like if I'm gonna write a song, I have to like look at my notes and then rap it. You had this thing on the. You're like, I'm ready.
I can't read fast enough
Yeah.
to keep up. My
He
handwriting.
memorizes it before he goes in, which is good because you just spit it. You're like, give me a second, let's go, boom, and you just flow. And he doesn't do multiple takes.
They say that's what Wayne does.
He just flows
Lil Wayne.
off the
That's
dome.
what they say that's what he
the
does.
breathe, having that breathe control is good. I mean, that's crazy. It's impressive. I think it's a good thing. Do you get to walk out to these songs or?
If I do walk out to one of them, I want it to be "Fight Hard." That's the 7th song on Pasture Fire, and it's got a nice little chorus. I fight hard, and that's my job. All that glory goes to God. I fight hard, and that's my job. All that glory goes to.
If I hear
one's
that on-
that?
if I hear that on TV, I'm a.
That's the Fight Hard.
That's called "Fight Hard." That's number 7 on Pasture Fire. Everybody likes different. Some people like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but a lot of people like that number 7.
This is number 7. Fight
This
Hard?
this Fight
I'm
Hard
about to
number
play
7.
a
Yeah,
Sneak peek of this one.
and
Dude, 62,000 views on YouTube. That's pretty good. Is this on Spotify yet or?
I don't think it'll ever go on Spotify
Why not?
because I don't own that beat. I think I get. I get
So-
You'd have to,
yeah, they
Yeah,
get it on
I
that
think
one.
we had talked about that too because I forgot that. Yeah, which There's ways around it, But with you being, with you having the views, you probably would get a copyright strike.
They probably get you.
So
They'll get you anytime they can.
Yeah, I love this one.
I fight hard and that's my job. All that glory
This
goes
one
to
you wanna
God.
walk out to?
I fight hard and that's my
I do
job.
wanna walk
All
out
that
to
glory
this
goes to
Talks
God.
a lot about fighting.
yeah, I like
Talks
this.
about
Glory
life.
goes to God. I fight hard and that's my job. All
Hey,
that
you walk
glory
out
goes
to a
God.
sold out
I
arena,
fight hard and
listen to your
that's
own
my
song.
job. All that
Talk about
glory goes
Goosebumps,
to
I
God.
bet.
I'm gonna
I
check
fight
it
hard
off
and
the
that's my
list,
job.
brother.
All that glory goes to God.
I do love
I
this
fight
song.
hard and that's my job. All that glory goes
Especially
to
in
God.
this
I
first
fight hard and that's my
part.
job.
A lot of
All
it's
that
about
glory
fighting.
goes to God. Ask about me on the block, they'll say that I'm a banger. I fucked around with white way before I met Dana. Straight out the bottom with all of the sediment. Fight for my betterment, yes I'm a veteran. See them police and I ain't even sweating them. All of my words, they artily threatening. Y'all keep patrolling, my wallet is swollen. You know how it's going, I'm in it and rolling. Staying devoted, you know that I'm owning my responsibilities. Won't piss away my God-given ability. Look in the mirror and what do I really see? A star who ain't in no cinema. Spitting some shit that is venomous. Ain't no one looking. The shows when I'm booking me. Don't give a damn, he's in the gym cooking. Turn up the temperature, I'm an adventurer. Love me a woman, but nowadays no, I will not mention her. Took on my heart, turned to a cavity. Put me through agony, tragedy. Actually, yeah, I'm from Cabbage. Think that I'm practically built for this shit like it's in my
Dude, that's crazy. Fight hard is insane.
It's hard for me
Bro.
to do a full take.
No, I mean,
No,
dude,
that's
that
hard.
song.
I
is-
like full takes
like
because when you stop your momentum and then you have to come back in,
It's hard to catch back
I
up.
rather just go back from the top and do the whole thing again. And of
Pass
course,
your
the
fire.
problem with that is the breathing. So getting all that in one take, not missing the
Dude.
syllable, and controlling the breathing. That's what's the hardest
Facts.
thing about doing it in one take. But I try to be practiced before I come over to record because
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's just like then we'll be stopping and then you'll have to edit a lot. So I try to make
Yeah.
the editor's job as easy as possible.
No, I mean, it's good. I mean, you're getting a lot. Dude, they, Darkansas got 291K views. That's
It's get-
crazy. The
it's
music videos are going to go awesome. I mean,
I think the video will be
videos
great.
are always better. They help people look.
I really do think that video.
You going to have like a tractor in there or what?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Absolutely. I think the video will actually put Darkansas over the top. I think the people are really going to like the video because it's not a bunch of bullshit. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Can make it. It's kind of like it makes me look normal, not like Ferraris
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and strippers and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
'cause
I
that's
feel
just
like-
not
yeah,
me.
This is
yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild. Dude,
No
it's
shootouts or nothing like that. Nothing crazy.
wow.
But it's. I just think people like, okay, I'll give you a sneak peek. One thing in Arkansas is like I'm catching a chicken at my place. I'm frying it, so they'll probably put that in the video, like me frying up a chicken that
Yeah.
was in the yard.
Dude.
But it's pretty. Yeah,
Chase it and cut it.
caught it, and then we're
Oh,
plucking
man.
it. So it's like
Plucking
I'm rapping while I'm cooking a chicken.
Right.
That's awesome.
He's just doing this thing. Can't
awesome.
make this up. This
It's
is
really
all-
cool though.
That is awesome.
I love how everything's like your page, your Instagram. I love how like everything highlights just that true self. A lot of people hide that self, and you're just showing it. You're showing like this is me,
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell from Arkansas, Southern roots, like born and raised.
I feel like I'm gonna get censored here soon. They're gonna shut me down, but I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it while it's going.
Nah.
We're behind you.
Well,
We're
I'm
behind you,
just
man.
glad to have people watching me, man.
dude.
And it could all be gone, done tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I'm enjoying every bit of it. Might break my leg tomorrow, but my goodness, it's been a great journey. And besides a couple losses and stuff, and there's probably a couple times I should have held my tongue and stuff. But other than that, man, I've just enjoyed.
That's what makes
the
you
journey.
though. Like you're
Yeah.
just being raw, I know last whenever my mom watched her first fight, I used to play college football. I kind of had I was like, when you came out, I like had that
Absolutely.
pregame
Yeah.
jitter. I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm about to fight. I feel like Arkansas has gotten behind you in that way because you've been repping for everybody. You know what I mean? So
Man, I'm
you've
just-
really been putting on.
I
so.
really want to bring the show back here to
Yeah.
to Arkansas.
Dude.
I really do. Put it in that Simmons Arena.
Another.
man.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
It'd sell out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it would. It'd
Can we
sell
get
out
some
right now.
backstage passes or what?
I
No,
said
I'm just-
I'll do everything in my power.
Hey,
to hook you up.
no,
I gotta work on it
Yeah.
first. If I
What-
can just get the event confirmed, then I have to work on that.
Didn't
stuff.
you get to meet Morgan Wallen?
I did. Yeah, that was
that's-
in
What?
Simmons.
Yeah, he got to
Really?
meet Simmons.
Yeah, he invited
cool,
me
man.
up there.
That's
and,
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Dude,
so I
that's
got to go
awesome.
back there and meet him and just talk to him for a little bit before the
Neat
show.
guy.
Yeah, really nice.
Dude,
guy.
somebody sent me the video of your last fight, the interview. You shouted me out, man. That was pretty cool. You said that something they asked you about recording music.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Hey, you got the shout out.
I was like, what
you got the
heck?
shout out.
I was like,
Thank you for helping me in the
dude,
studio.
that was so cool. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
But yeah,
I had one more question.
oh, yeah.
3 fights that I'm interested in. I want to see who you got. Okay, for this weekend. Who you got in the O'Malley fight?
Man, I might have to go with O'Malley on that one.
Really?
I don't think that Pedro's going to try to take him down, and he's a little bit older and a little bit slower and has less reach. So I'll just go with O'Malley on that one. But
I guess you already answered the Volkanovski fight though, because you said Holloway, right?
I'll
You
just
think
go with, I'll
Holloway's
go with
coming out with
Holloway.
Holloway,
I will
yeah.
go with Holloway on that one.
Who you got?
No, that's a good fight.
Yeah. Who you got in the main?
Is that Izzy and
Yeah.
Cannonier?
Yeah.
I'm going with the American Cannonier. I'm
Wait,
going
who
with
you,
American.
is it? The Adesanya or
Adesanya
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
Cannonier. I don't know where Cannonier is from, but man, I heard their coaches saying, "Hey, we're coming into foreign countries. We're coming in waves, and we're conquering and holding line." And so his coach was kind of making it kind of about, like we're coming to your country.
Yeah.
I was like, well, come on, buddy, I'm going for America,
Yeah.
and I'm going for America. If we're gonna make it about countries, hey, I'm picking mine. My
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
The one where we got all the guns, all the rights.
Facts.
What happened when, all these other countries would talk shit about us? Oh, you got all these guns or whatever. Like, guns are the problem. Hey, these guns saved your ass in 1944.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These guns saved your ass back in World War One.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and
facts, man.
I'm going for America. If you want to make it, if anybody has ever makes me pick between another country and America, I'm picking America. I
Let's
love
go.
it. And I do think there's a lot of stuff that our country needs to fix.
Yeah.
But a lot of that's out of our control.
Yeah.
But that Jared Cannonier, he still represents our people to me, and I want him to win.
Yeah.
I didn't meet him last week, but I saw him last week, and he's a nice guy to talk to. Izzy.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Izzy Ross. So, yeah, we get along very well, actually. I talk to
okay.
him every time I see him.
That's who I had picked on that one.
Yeah, and he's
He's a pretty
That
good
guy's
fighter.
he's a
pretty
great,
good.
he's a phenomenal fighter,
He's
man.
fun.
But I actually care about that guy. I don't want his health to be
Yeah.
nothing
jeopardy.
wrong. Put in jeopardy. I'd hate to see him go in there and get real fucking hurt or nothing. That's not
Yeah,
what I want to
dude.
see. I just want to see a competitive fight, and both those guys go home at the end of the night healthy, and hopefully the American gets the win.
Yeah, you missed your chance with Khabib, but didn't he retire or something?
He did. But he's way bigger than me. He's about 200 pounds. So.
If he hears this podcast, we can get it going.
you could take him. You could take him.
Well, maybe if he depleted himself all the way to 45, I definitely could, because he would be dead. They go from 200 to 145.
That'd be crazy.
And I wouldn't go up to 55 because I've already fought smaller all my years, and it's just I'd rather be a little bit not smaller, because I'm telling you, it's not fun to fight the bigger guys.
Yeah.
And I'm already small enough for my
I never
weight
realized
class.
he was that big.
Yeah, he's about
He's
200. He's
a
200
big
plus
dude.
now.
Wow.
Yeah, he
crazy.
cut a lot of weight. He missed weight. I've never missed weight ever. Never will, I don't believe, unless it's some medical emergency happens. But, he missed weight a couple times, because he's fucking come from 200 pounds.
Sheesh.
It's 40-something pounds, 45 pounds, and he's over 200 now. It's 50-something plus
Dang.
pounds. So me, I'm cutting about 20,
Yeah.
which is doable. It still sucks, but I've never missed.
Yeah.
Probably never will, unless if something weird happens.
You have to lower the bowl of cereals, or
For me, well, only the last 3 days. The last 3 days, I do 3 days of not eating very
then
much.
you eat a bunch after, like right after you weigh in?
Absolutely.
How much you put in? You think?
Well, you can't eat a bunch because your stomach actually shrinks. So you just end up drinking a lot.
Really?
But yeah, your stomach gets so shrunk. I mean, imagine not eating really much more than a bite or two for 3 days at a time. Like you'll eat like one bite at a time, but then all of a sudden you got a big bowl of pasta in front of you. You can't even eat the thing.
Yeah. You hit the sauna on your cut, or
I do
are
like
you
the
are you
sauna.
sweatsuiting and working out, or both probably?
I do a little bit of both, but when it really gets down to it, I finish up in the sauna, and I like the portable saunas because your head sticks up out of it.
Yeah.
And your head's not getting baked.
Yeah.
So your body.
Dude, last time I was in a sauna, I definitely hated the fact that I felt like I was gonna pass out in there. It's just so hot.
It probably makes it better with your head being out.
Yeah,
of it,
with your head out of it, especially for your brain, because you're not cooking your brain, and the next day you're going to take hits to your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cook your brain before you scramble it.
Yeah, that's interesting, dude. It's 2:37 a.m.
That's coffee got me. Absolutely.
He got a second win.
This has been a good show.
I'm not tired at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna go fold some clothes and maybe start another load of in the washer when I get back. Like I'm up. I'm good now.
You liking the space you're at? You know.
I'm really liking it. I'm gonna upgrade and finish building a house on the shop side because I got a shop for the gym and parking some stuff. You know. So a little parking area and a little gym area, but on the other side of that, it's what I want to be a living quarters. But right now, it's only one room is halfway built.
Okay.
Slow work, and I got to put in a septic. I got to put in 2 septics.
Yeah, what was that? What were you doing with on the gram? We were down some holes. Was that a septic?
Oh, that was for the Arkansas music video when it says out of the soil a fighter emerges. I pop up out of a grave.
Dude, that's
cool.
Crazy.
It's cool.
That's cool.
It's symbolism though, because it's like it starts out. The video starts out me digging a hole, so you're probably thinking, "Shoot, what is he digging out in the middle of the field?" And then it gets to be a perfect rectangle, and then it gets to get going down deep. So you're probably thinking, "Oh, he's digging a grave." That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But the symbolism is. It's all about symbolism.
Yeah.
That's why the music video is so cool because it's low budget, but it's still badass. So in the video, I get all the way down to the bottom of the hole where I hit water, and this hole fills up with water, and then I pop up out of the hole.
Dude,
it's like if you dig, you'll find your true self.
That's crazy.
Dude, are you coming up with a lot of these ideas?
I come up with that,
and then you just kind of get with the team and like say this is what we can do.
That's cool.
Dude,
and the symbolism was if you dig, you will find your true self.
Yeah,
that's the symbolism.
That's good to have that creative leverage, you know,
and
do what you want.
Yes, and it is symbolism. I am smart enough to put that in there, you know. But
I mean, but there's a lot of like people that rap that they don't do anything they just like
strippers and Lambos.
Yeah, strippers and Lambos.
They're just clout chasing though.
Yeah.
It's just trash. It's all trash, dude.
Do you listen to any other rappers?
I do like a lot of other rappers, and there's rappers that I like their rap but don't like their lyrics. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, like, do you listen to any like right now in particular?
Brother, it's been a while since I've just played some straight up rap. I do instrumentals.
Yeah.
I put on instrumentals.
I know you've done some Kevin Gates instrumentals.
I love Kevin Gates instrumentals. I love Kevin Gates music. I love his rap.
Yeah.
Some of his lyrics are just not for me.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of killing and see I'm not much for killing.
Yeah.
Unless if it's deer and stuff. But hey, also too, he's been in situations where he's had to kill. I have not lived a life like that.
Different lifestyle.
Different lifestyle. I'm not saying nothing bad about his rap.
Yeah.
I like it enough that I'd use all his beats damn near on my mixtape. So, but it's just like when I'm listening to a Kevin Gates song, I'll be getting along with about 90% of it and be like, you know, he's rapping about how her girlfriend's trashing him and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm just like, yeah, you go, Kevin. I'm like, yeah, let's go, Kevin. And then all of a sudden he's like, and I'll fucking kill you like I killed that last dude. And I'm like, oh shit, I ain't killed him. I'm like, I can't, you know, nod my head when that part comes on. I'm like, man, I ain't killed nobody. You know, like I gotta change the station now, but you know, his life is a lot different than mine, and I don't think he's done a lot of. I think a lot of that stuff he's done.
He's been on a big peace movement lately too.
Yeah, and I tell you what, some people he killed probably deserved it.
Yeah,
you know,
he was in and out of jail. I mean, he's always been. A lot of these rappers have.
You know, and that's just a different lifestyle. So obviously, when I hear his lyrics, it's different than my lifestyle.
Exactly.
But I'm not. I don't cast judgment upon him. I just. It's hard for me to relate to all of those lyrics.
Yeah.
But man, I think he has the best rap talent in the game, and of course I have to pick. I'll pick myself because I'm biased as shit. You know, I always think I'm the best, and I think it's a healthy mindset to say, "Oh, I'm the best." But,
you got to.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
Visualize the victory, you know.
But I really,
it goes back to the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta know what you can do.
If you think you're the second best, well, you will be.
Exactly.
You know, and so, but shoot, he's one of those styles that I really, really like. The styles that he raps, just the energy that he brings. Also like another Lil Wayne, like he's a different style.
Hey.
He's heavy on the puns. Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah.
So I love a
that
good
dude's
pun.
always. I mean, he never writes a song.
That's what I was just about to say. It's I appreciate Lil Wayne's every single lyric even more whenever I learned that like he comes into the studio, he kind of just hears the beat already. He listens to it for a minute, does his thing, and bails.
He smokes a little bit before.
Yeah. Smokes a little bit before. Because this guy was on a interview and was like, we paid all this money and had these bottles ready for him and blah, blah, blah. He was late, showed up for 10 minutes and left.
Yep.
And I thought it was whack. And then the next week it hit number 1.
Wow.
Lil Wayne probably has a million of songs we haven't even heard just because he's recording all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of these big time rap, like even like when you move into different genres, like Chris Brown. I just heard a podcast he was on a podcast and he put out an album. He does longer albums. He said that he had over like 150 songs and had to cut it down to like 25.
Wow.
But he recorded 150 and he had to choose the
That's
best
that
one.
obsessiveness.
You know what I'm saying? These people. Well, and also they ain't paying for studio time, so
Yeah.
But that's their craft.
If you can sit in the studio all day, you could probably knock out a bunch of songs.
It would help.
Because that right now, they charge for the hour most times. Stuff.
The way I look at it is that I try to make the songs as fast as I can, but also the more time I take, the more life experience I have,
Exactly.
and that the experience might contribute to one different lyric. So I don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
But
Keep
I'm
doing what
working
you're
it.
doing.
I got to work at my pace. I can't work at Lil Wayne's pace. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll never. I'm working at my pace.
Keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. And it's just.
He's been rapping since he was like 9, I think is what I heard one time.
That's right.
He's been rapping out the womb. He came out. They cut that umbilical cord, and he was
I promise.
Man,
Yeah.
she cut me. I'm gonna get her back.
Yeah, he's crazy, man, and he's been around, and I like Lil Wayne, I like Kevin Gates, who's not Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane, yeah.
Mane.
I was
Love
just-
Gucci.
He's a hard rapper. He
is, dude. I
straight.
love it.
Yeah, he's good.
the real deal.
Yeah, I respect those guys.
Yeah. I did do one lyric that said "Cook 'em to the bone, Thug Nasty." In my
Absolutely.
down south.
I condone it.
Yeah, yeah, that was awesome.
I've proven that message.
Yeah.
That's a good message.
That's right.
Cook them to the bone.
Cook 'em
Coach
to the bone.
said. Coach said, cook them to the bone.
I love it. Anyways, this has been good. I don't really have any more questions. You?
Nah, man. Just appreciate everything you're doing for the state.
Hey, thank you for having me, my
Oh,
brother.
yeah, man.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
It's been good. It's been
Absolutely.
Good. We'll have to
can
do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say that.
For sure. Well, that's pretty much
Give
it
the
for me.
people what they want.
Always,
that's
what we did.
Oh yeah.
Y'all might have to edit out a couple of my stuff. I lost myself there.
Oh yeah. That was a good one. See y'all next time.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all.